Oakland comes in with an 8-8 record in 1998. We have a forecast of possible rain a little later in the afternoon. Front moving through. Michael Husted will kick off for the Oakland Raiders, and the deep men are Desmond Howard back in Green Bay and Basil Mitchell, a rookie. This a short kick, but it goes by Mitchell into the end zone, so that will go as an inadvertent touchback. A slim down Brett Favre comes on at quarterback, starting his 109th consecutive game, second longest ever. Last season, the key for him, the number of interceptions, 23. Very disturbed about that. And his offensive line has been a problem in preseason. It's a very young group, particularly at left guard, where Mike Wall gets the start. 1st and 10 from the 20. Dorsey Levens, little stutter step in the backfield and a quick 3 yards. Now let's check that offense for the Green Bay Packers. Verba in his 3rd year, Mike Wall the rookie, Frank Winters the vet, Marco Rivera at right guard and Earl Dotson at right tackle. A healthy Dorsey Levens back in the backfield. Blocking help supplied by Henderson, Antonio Freeman. Bill Schrader has earned 1 starting spot, and Mark Shimura is back, though he did not participate in a single down of any preseason games. Bothered by a bulging disc. 2nd and 6, motion, flag down.
More offense. 5-yard penalty remains, 2nd down.
Tony Corrente is official today. 5 against the Packers. Ray Rhodes, the 12th head coach in the history of Green Bay. Served here for 2 years as a defensive coordinator under Mike Holmgren. And John Gruden, who was here for 3 years as an assistant, started out under Mike Holmgren as the offensive assistant, then the wide receivers coach in Green Bay, before he joined Ray Rhodes as the offensive coordinator in Philadelphia. Here's Favre going deep. He's got Shimura open. And there, Dan, might be a lack of timing and workout in preseason.
Yeah, and more on Mark Shimura's part, obviously. He hurt a cervical disc in his neck early in August. He didn't play in any of the preseason games. That's a catch he normally makes.
Defensively for Oakland, and they were superb last year until they lost a couple of their defensive backs. Up front, the strength of this team is at the tackles, Russell Maryland and Darrell Russell. The linebackers, Beaker, K.D. Williams, a rookie free agent, Woodson, Newman, Turner, and Allen in the secondary. Out of the shotgun, it's Brett Favre. Corey Bradford, the 3rd wide receiver. Favre flips it out to Dorsey Levens, not his first option. Charles Woodson makes the tackle. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And one of the questions early, Vern, answered here. Oakland not trailing Antonio Freeman exclusively with Charles Woodson. Charles staying at home at his left cornerback position that time. A good job coming up, forcing the run with a good shoestring tackle on Levens.
Chris Hansen is the rookie free agent punter. He was claimed on waivers after being cut by the Cleveland Browns last week. We'll document his story as we get going. Darian Gordon, a career average of 13 yards, punt returning, and he's back for this one, and this is a short punt. Gordon bobbles it, picked up, scramble drop. Davis missed it. Who got it? Green Bay's Davis had a shot.
Oh, Rob Davis, the long snapper. It was his football for the taking, and he just slid right by it, and the Raiders keep possession after the muff. Rob Davis is the long snapper. He's number 60. It's his only job here with the Packers to snap the football. There's the muff. Never had possession by Gordon. And watch, sliding in right there. There's Davis. Oh, he had it and he lost it.
Ineligible member of the kicking team downfield prior to the kick, number 30. The penalty is declined. 1st down.
And that brings onto the field the new quarterback for the Oakland Raiders, Rich Gannon. Signed a 4-year, $16 million contract off the Kansas City roster as an unrestricted free agent off of a career best of 2,305 yards. Modest numbers by Brett Favre standards. Rich Gannon in place of Jeff George and Donald Hollis. Napoleon Kaufman comes left. Fumbles picked up alertly by Tim Brown.
Hops right to Tim Brown.
The runner was ruled down by contact. Second down.
Okay, so negate the advancement of the fumble.
Now you got a glimpse of Tim Brown. Let's check others in the Oakland offense. Mo Collins, Wisniewski Robbins, first-year starter Gennaro DiNapoli and Lincoln Kennedy. Kaufman and Ritchie in the backfield. Brown and Jeff the wideouts, and Ricky Dudley has been an underachieving tight end. 2nd and 9. Play fake to Ritchie. Gannon rolls, finds Kaufman. Out on the corner, one-on-one with the rookie Mike McKenzie, a 3rd-round draft pick. And let's check the defense for the Green Bay Packers. And the big change, of course, comes on the left side of your screen, where Vaughn Booker replaces Reggie White. The linebackers, Coots, Harris, and a very athletic Brian Williams. And keep your eye on the secondary on number 34. That's Mike McKenzie, a 3rd-round draft pick. He is starting his first game in the NFL. Randy Jordan in on short yardage. Gannon, quick setup, pressure. McKenzie, Keith McKenzie that is, misses him, and Jordan gets the grab out of the backfield, 1st down.
And what you saw right there from Rich Gannon, exactly what they didn't have in Jeff George quarterbacking the team last year. That's the mobility. Rich Gannon very comfortable on the move, completely under control, and Randy Jordan staying alive, just looking back at his quarterback the entire way. That is a whole new dimension that Rich Gannon brings to the Raider offense.
That's a gain of 13. And a 1st down. Kaufman back in, so also is Terry Mickens at a wide receiver. Ball at the 25. Tim Brown in motion. Flags down.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
That's Mo Collins, the left tackle.
Now, this is an Oakland team that leads the NFL in number of penalties through the 90s.
They had led the league a couple years in a row prior to last year. One of John Gruden's accomplishments last year, third. At least he chipped away at that. They didn't lead the league last year.
No, they only finished 5th.
Well, that's a major improvement.
1st and 15. Play fake Gannon. Deep left side, double coverage. It's tipped away. Tyrone Williams, number 37, got back and got a hand on it.
Oh, I'm surprised Rich threw into that coverage. That was perfect double coverage by the Green Bay Packers. There's the release at the line of scrimmage by Jet, being ridden by Williams. But look, all the way you got Mike McKenzie. Geez, there's just, that is a real chance by Rich Gannon. That's outstanding work by the secondary of the Packers.
On 2nd and 15, Oakland goes with a 4 wide receiver set. Kenny Shedd has come on the field. Actually, it's only 3. And the dime defense, 6 DBs in for the Packers. 3 of them are rookies. Here's the toss to Kaufman going right. Got a good hook block from Ritchie. It may have been too good.
There's a flag on the field, and you're keen, Vern. You're real keen.
That Scandinavian stuff. I'm back up here where they serve that left side.
This is the home country, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I'm very close. I'm very close to saying Yompen Yemeni.
Holding, offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Well, they always blame an offensive lineman.
Of course.
Lincoln Kennedy gets the flag. He was at the point of attack. He's the right tackle. There he is right in the middle. He's going to pull around the corner. Oh, and he puts the left arm and really puts the grab on McKenzie. It's tough to get away with a hold when you're clear out on the end like that. There's no place to hide.
2nd and 25. 4-man rush Green Bay. Gannon across the middle. Tim Brown inside the 30 to the 29. A gain of 11 for the 12-year veteran.
Tim Brown again make something happen across the middle of the football field. He's such a complete receiver, not just a guy comfortable flying down the field on the sideline. Tim Brown will run the 2-yard crossing pattern. He'll get hit by linebackers. He'll get hit by defensive linemen. This is a Hall of Fame football player, Tim Brown.
3rd and 14. Blitz. Gannon double coverage again as he'd had help. Coming over was Darren Sharper and Mike McKenzie covering Tim Brown.
Oh, and Tim Brown complaining that McKenzie was riding him and making contact well beyond the 5-yard zone. Well, there's the rookie on the veteran, McKenzie, 34, and he's not playing the football. He is fortunate that he got away with that. You're allowed that contact if both of you are turned around looking at the football. McKenzie clearly had his back to the action.
Michael Husted, the new field goal kicker replacing Greg Davis, had 5 in the final preseason games. Plants this one and he misses it wide left. So a marvelous opportunity on the road goes by the wayside for the Oakland Raiders.
Cash your charge.
Hey, Luke, do me a favor. Give me a half-inch box wrench.
Great Harvest Bread has over 100 stores connected across the country.
There's no other way to grow your business besides talking to other people.
Like thousands of businesses today, Great Harvest store owners use the internet and Microsoft software to share knowledge and make better decisions.
So now we can compare stores versus stores. You know, my suppliers know that I constantly look at prices. So they're less apt to raise prices because they know that I know what I know.
Monday, it's a night to remember. 4 great episodes of special moments from TV's best comedy.
Who better to help us than your parents?
The devil.
4 Raymonds, 1 night. CBS Monday.
A night to remember. Celebrate 100 years of extraordinary achievements at Sports Illustrated's 20th Century Sports Awards. Coming to CBS.
10:01 to go, first quarter of play from Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Second set for the Packers now. Brett Favre back in at quarterback. He's got Dorsey Levens lined up wide to the right side. And he flips it out. Antonio Freeman with the catch. In front of Charles Woodson. That's a gain of 10. And let's check in with the third member of our commentary team. Here's Bonnie Bernstein.
Hi there, Vern. Well, I don't know that this game's more important to anybody than head coach John Gruden with the Raiders. In fact, we were actually talking about this game, and he was so focused on it back in early August when I went to visit camp. He said, there are so many connections for me in this game. Ray Rhodes, of course, was the head coach in Philly when Gruden was the offensive coordinator. In Green Bay, that's where he really got his start as a receivers coach back in the early 90s. So obviously, Gruden's got an awful lot to prove to an awful lot of people today, Vern.
Thank you, Bonnie. Here's Dorsey Levens trying to get around the corner. And Eric Turner is there to force him out of bounds to the accompaniment of a flag.
Well, if you're a member of the Oakland Raiders defense and we see the preliminary holding call, that's exactly the direction you like to see Dorsey Levens going, parallel to the line of scrimmage. And also, whenever a back ends up going parallel to the line of scrimmage, it really puts his linemen and blockers in a position where a lot of times the defender is headed in a direction they're not expecting. Thus, they end up grabbing somebody. And I think that's the case here with the hold against the Packers.
Holding offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
See, that's Ross Verber, the left tackle there at the top of your screen. He is not expecting this play to go to the outside. He gets beat a little bit, and then when he comes back, there's the grab and the tackle. He's not expecting Dorsey Levens to be all the way out there on the perimeter. Of course, he got whiffed at the line of scrimmage. That's one of the reasons Dorsey had to jump to the outside.
Ross Verber in his third season in a subpar sophomore year. Here's Barr. He'll run, he'll pump, and he'll slide. And he's down at the 40.
And here is the flag. On a little late now.
K.D. Williams, the free agent rookie.
When the quarterback hook slides, when he slides feet first, you can't touch it. You can't make contact. And what did John Gruden tell us yesterday about K.D. Williams? He said, well, there's one problem. Sometimes his motor runs just a little too fast. Williams getting his first action in this league.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Quarterback was attempting to slide to protect himself. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I know, folks, this is not a lethal hit on Brett Favre by K.D. Williams, but the rule is when the quarterback slides, when he goes into the feet first slide, he's afforded protection. Here he comes. Williams could have stopped. He could have stopped. You could have rolled off to the side. He just could have come in a little softer to the side of Brett Favre. He didn't hurt him, but it is a penalty.
Third team with which he has attempted to make the league. First time he stuck his Favre being rolled out by Biekert, and Favre out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Ooh, you saw Favre run away from K.D. Williams, Vern. 24 pounds lighter, you know.
Yes.
He might have got him by the ankle if this isn't the new lean and improved Brett.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports kicks off Home Depot College football with a day-night doubleheader. Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions against the Miami Hurricanes. And in the nightcap, the defending champion Tennessee Volunteers travel to the Swamp to beat the Florida Gators. Or some of you will see Michigan take on Syracuse. Second down and 2. Here's a flag and another dead ball foul. It looks like this might be the 5th preseason
Prior
game.
to the snap, false start. Number 23 offense.
First regular
Number
season
33
game.
on the offense.
Yeah, William Henderson, the fullback, he just misidentified the snap count in the huddle and just started. Again, talk about no place to hide. There's Henderson right in the middle of your screen. He's allowed to move parallel to the line of scrimmage, but it has to be a full second before the snap of the football. Opening day, I'd say nerves are running a little high today, a little tight.
Well, we've had 6 thus far. Second down and 7 scoreless. First quarter.
About a little over 7 minutes of football.
Yeah,
it's a lot of penalties.
Here's Favre again across the middle. Got his tight end Chimera. And Biekert makes the tackle. First down, Green Bay. Chewy, as he is called here, makes the catch.
And how good that has to feel. Mark Chimera was having upper body numbness from this cervical disc. And he did not play at all this preseason, didn't have any contact until practice on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. The Packers weren't counting on having Chewy here, and that catch has to feel mighty good.
Well, there was some thought of his retirement. As a matter of fact, his agent was quoted as urging him to do so, but certainly probably has that thought in the back of his head right now. That's going to be a first and goal. Chimera with a 13-yard grab.
Well, Mark's family was concerned about him, and let's face it, that's the type of injury you ought to be concerned about. Again, I love this pattern, and a lot of teams don't run it often enough. Just release the tight end dumping the ball after 4 or 5 yards. A lot of linebackers cheat in getting back into their coverage, and that's taking advantage of it.
In 98, 24 touchdowns out of 47 possessions, and they rank in the middle of the pack.
Brett changing the play.
Backs in the eye. Favre, play fake. Steps up, double pass. Now, which one of us is going to be the first to say,
the cupper,
Lee Grosscup? We're not even into the first quarter and he gets a pop.
You know, remember what Willie Shaw told us about Brett Favre is more dangerous when he's on the move, but on the move towards the line of scrimmage? Right there is a perfect example of what Willie was talking about. Instead of going sideways, Brett's coming up, and when he comes up like that, he sees the field so well, just dished it off the left. Beautiful.
2nd and 3 at the 4. And the audible again from Brett Favre. Got it. Touchdown, Bill Schrader. Lambeau leap
from Sheboygan into the stands. Oh, how great is this? Bill Schrader grew up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Would come to Packer practices, rather, carry the helmets of veteran players, and he gets the first touchdown of the '99 season on a beautiful slant pass from Brett Favre.
Robert Brooks had to retire because of injury. Schrader beat out Derek Mays for that ex-receiver starting spot, and what a nice moment for him. Here's Ryan Longwell's extra point, up and good. So after the missed field goal by Husted, the Packers take over and get the touchdown. Favre to Schrader.
De La Hoya, undefeated. Trinidad, undisputed. Both unstoppable. Don't miss the fight of the millennium. De La Hoya versus Trinidad. It's the battle of the undefeated champions, and it'll be unbelievable.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Brought to you by Budweiser.
Well, look at this. Young entrepreneurs selling delicious beverages. 99 cents. When I was a kid, lemonade was a lot cheaper. Of course, there's not much you can get for 99 cents these days. Oh, wait. I'm insane. There's 10, 10, 220. With 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are just 99 cents. And just 9 cents a minute after that, no matter when you call.
One tray cup?
Sure, why not? Delicious.
Dial 10-10-220. The swamps of Louisiana. There's only one reason why we would bring Honda ATVs to this kind of mud. This kind of terrain. This kind of non-stop torture. To see if they could get out. They're America's most popular ATVs for America's least popular places. Now, ride off with our best financing, 8.9%.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. Budweiser, guaranteed fresh with our exclusive Born On Day. And by Honda, best on earth.
The very large presence of Gilbert Brown admiring Bill Schrader's work. The scoring drive, 62 yards in 7 plays. And Schrader with a nice 4-yard catch.
Keep in mind, this is a guy who only played 1 year of college football. They only kept him because he was big and fast. That was a nice catch.
Randy Jordan back at the goal line. And he takes a pop as he gets to the 15. The hit delivered by Jim Nelson, number 57. Backup linebacker.
Bill Schrader was locked up on Eric Allen, and you are more than a track man with a helmet on when you catch a ball all with your hands, just like that. That is a catch by an NFL receiver, not a track guy.
What do you see here?
Bunker, sir.
What's inside? Millions. They've got a plan. Saddam stole it from the sheiks. I have no problem stealing it from Saddam. They've got the gold.
Let's just stick to the plan. The plan is for the gold, right?
Now, they've got problems.
If you leave us here, we are dead.
We have to get him over the border. George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, Ice Cube.
You go now, please.
I don't think so.
Three Kings, rated R. Starts Friday, October 1st at a theater near you.
Why do people love squirrels but hate rats? They're both rodents, and yet the squirrel is tolerated, downright beloved. Why? Does that cute fuzzy tail make that much of a difference? Absolutely. Introducing the all-new 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Nicely equipped at 17.7. Further proof that looks do matter.
Not a lot of people know what the SEAL does. I kind of like the idea of that.
You need to get in and, you know, do your job and get out of there not being seen.
No SEAL gets left behind. Everybody goes home.
You have to be able to persevere and get the job done no matter what. I will not fail.
The kind of people we require, someone who can go hard or go home.
I knew what I came in the Navy to do. I specifically came in to become a Navy SEAL.
New faces. New attitude.
He didn't have a hernia. Somebody bit off his...
What? All new Chicago Hope. Season premiere Thursday, September 23rd.
You are watching CBS Sports, showcase of college football's SEC and Big East conferences.
We're back, and here's Napoleon Kaufman. And Kaufman takes a quick pitch and scoots around the corner. A 48-yard play.
Just swinging out to the left side. There's Napoleon Kaufman. The deep back in the eye takes the pitch from Gannon and away, and he just freezes Darren Sharper. Darren Sharper, instead of coming up and trying to make the tackle, just stood his ground and just got planted by Napoleon Kaufman. And boy, that was the big play the Raiders were looking for to try to get this crowd a little quiet.
Here is Tyrone Wheatley, his first play in a Raider uniform in regular season. Had a very short-lived career with the Giants as a former #1 pick. Was waived and picked up by Miami. Did not make it through training camp for the first game.
No, he did not. And Tyrone, let's face it, after a wonderful career at the University of Michigan, has not done a lot in the NFL. But he's the guy, kind of a back that Gruden is looking for. He's 230 pounds. He's a 50-pound bigger guy than Napoleon Kaufman. They need the heavy back.
Here's John Ritchie as Gannon gives him the ball, and he plunges inside the 25. Should be enough for the first down as Gilbert Brown and Bonnie Holiday.
That's what Wheatley brings to this dance here, Vern, is that Napoleon Kaufman has a great burst. He's an exciting guy on the perimeter. We saw what he could do, but he's not the back that can just slam into the line and get the heavy, tough yards for you. And that is why if a guy like Tyrone Wheatley can come along, if he can provide that heavy armor for the Raiders, it's much needed.
Kaufman back in now on first down and 10. Jim Brown starts in motion. Says, may I please?
I don't think they practiced that.
No, I don't either. Here's Gannon being chased by Bernardo Harris. That was a by your leave.
I don't think they worked on that.
Well, just trying to be proper teammates. And tonight on CBS from director Martin Scorsese, it stars Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Ray Liotta, like Tim Brown and John Ritchie. They're good fellas. That's tonight on CBS.
Love that movie.
Oh, a couple of scenes are...
Don't take your kids.
Graphic. Second down. Kaufman tries to find a hole in the middle, and Gilbert Brown helps make sure that there is no daylight.
There is no. Gilbert Brown is like the black hole of run defense. He sucks all runners, all light, all matter into his area. Look at Gilbert. Starts with a double team. Wisniewski rubs off. Barrett Robbins ends up trying to move Gilbert on his own. Gilbert Brown, at 350 pounds, is truly the immovable object at defensive tackle.
And do you believe the 350?
Charge timeout.
He may be down a little bit. He might actually be only 350.
Time has been called.
If you had to be stranded on a deserted island with just one other person, who would it be? A boat builder? Or a survival expert? Perhaps a fisherman? Or would it just be someone who looks really good in a swimsuit? Introducing the all-new 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, nicely equipped at 17.7. There are more sensible choices, but who cares?
Genes, as in genetics. They make us all alike. They make us all different. And inside our genes are the secrets to creating a world without disease. Agilent provides technologies that help scientists uncover those secrets. So maybe someday, genetic disease will simply go out of style.
Introducing Blue from American Express, a whole new kind of credit card.
An all-American final. Todd Martin shoots for his first Grand Slam against this year's tennis giant Andre Agassi. The world's toughest tennis, next on CBS. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Agilent Technologies, dreams made real, and by Blue from American Express.
Love it, love it, love it.
Hard not to. Third down and 9, Oakland. Last time these two teams played here was 1993. It's a very comfortable day today, as you can tell by the absence of shirts. It was 22 degree below zero wind chill when they played here in 93 in December. 3 wide receiver set on third down. Green Bay coming defensively. Gannon lets it go. He had pressure. And the pressure came from Vonnie Holliday at right end.
When you're in a pass protection setup, you have to account for the big people. The Raiders have a mix-up inside. Mo Collins and Wisniewski are double-teaming inside, and they turn Vonnie Holliday loose. That is really the quickest way to get the second quarterback into the football game. You must account for the big men up front. You must account for Vonnie Holliday.
Michael Husted missed from 47 earlier. He tries this one from 41. Kick is up and cuts just inside the right upright. So John Gruden's bunch on the board. 2:57 to go, first quarter.
Don't get me started on stockbrokers. I had one for the better part of 10 years. Let me tell you something. The only one who was broker was me. With Ameritrade, it's so simple. I sit down at my computer, a couple of clicks, and I can see for myself. $8 a trade. My stockbroker says you're going to hate online trading. You can add that to the long list of things he was wrong about.
Call toll-free 888-537-8320 or visit Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
Is there an underdog in you? Is there a stubborn fool in you? Is there a screaming child in you? Is there a crazed lunatic in you? Gatorade, is it in you?
The internet isn't the future. It's the here and now. Electronic business is going to lead us to new heights. We will shift the paradigm. We will challenge the status quo. Next up, cyberspace.
E-panicked. From idea to implementation, we can help.
A Russian KGB agent comes out of the shadows and reveals in detail how the Kremlin planned to wipe us out tonight on 60 Minutes.
Ray Rhodes in his first game as the head coach of the Packers, 4 years in Philadelphia. Michael Husted signed as a free agent off the Tampa Bay roster in part, John Gruden said, because of his long kickoffs.
A couple things to look for on that play by Vonnie Holliday on third down. Here's Holliday out here to the outside. The mistake comes down here on the Raider offensive line. But when he comes in untouched, watch this smart play by Holliday of not hitting Gannon with his helmet. Do you see how he slides his helmet across the back of Rich Gannon, hits him with his left shoulder? That is absolutely smart football. That's brilliant football by Vonnie Holliday. It's a fine to hit a guy with your helmet. That is the education of the National Football League on how to protect their players paying off.
First down 10 now, Green Bay, their third set. Here's Dorsey Levens coming right, and Charles Woodson makes the tackle. Modest gain. Dorsey Levens had a protracted contract holdout last summer and signed ultimately a one-year offer, then agreed to a multi-year deal, and wouldn't you know, second game in, injury that cost him more than half the season.
Yeah, he ended up last year with only 378 yards after 1,435 the year before. But he is wonderfully healthy right now, Vern. He asked him yesterday, he said, I have never come out of training camp feeling better than I feel.
Second and 7, double tight end set, and one of them makes the grab.
Chewy again.
That would be Chimura. Well, football season, of course, is here. Get a complete and in-depth look inside the NFL with team-by-team breakdowns and Week 1 recaps. When you've got to know more on the NFL, log on to cbs.sportsline.com. 3rd and 1, 7-3. Schrader with a 4-yard grab for the Packers. Husted with a 41-yard field goal. And Grady Jackson comes in now as an offensive tackle. And off to Levens. He comes right. And there is a nice play by Eric Turner, coming up from the free safety spot to make the grab.
Yeah, but not till the Packers comfortably pick up the first down.
Now, we talked about Dorsey Levens. It was toward the end of game 2. Dorsey Levens, who had come off a nearly 1,500-yard season, late in the game against Tampa, and ouch.
Yeah, breaks a bone, tears ligaments in the ankle. Most people didn't think he'd come back at all. And he did come back and actually played very well. Got a lot of yards in the playoffs. Lost to the 49ers.
Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
That's Marco Rivera. Earl Dodson, beg pardon.
Yeah, the sloppy football continues here as we start winding down towards the end of the first quarter. I'm a bit surprised that the Packers are making these types of errors. These are the easiest mistakes to correct. The offsides, the false starts, that type of thing. That's just that's either being too juiced or not concentrating enough.
Levens on the sweep with Henderson in front. Imagine Jim Taylor and Paul Hornung appreciate that when they see something like that being run here.
Ooh, and you know that that's why Dorsey Levens loves William Henderson. You saw him come around the corner. He saved himself. He didn't pull the trigger. He looked for the right guy to hit, and then when he hit him, you could hear it all the way up here.
Dan, he really had modest numbers in preseason, though.
Well, he had one big run for like 48 yards, and then if you combine the rest of Dorsey Levens' preseason runs together, he averaged like 1.5 yards a carry. And you see right here, he's only got 9 yards.
Well, the guy was sliding. I think he was
That's the end of the first quarter with our score 7-3 Green Bay. We'll return to Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, right after this message and a word from your local station.
Where's Maureen?
She ran out for supplies. You need help?
Nah, I can do it. Add toner. Add it where? 10,000. Uh-oh.
You go through a lot of supplies, but Staples helps you save.
Boss?
Maureen!
Everything okay?
There is something wrong with that machine.
Want guaranteed low prices plus an in-house copy and print center? Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win your way college football game.
2 more tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Penn State and Miami face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
3 years ago, my IT guys told me there'd be 2 kinds of businesses. Those with a vision to master the internet, and those without. And we didn't want to be the second kind. So we called Dell. Dell came to see us and showed us how to use the internet for direct relationships with our customers, suppliers, everyone who's a part of our business. With Dell support, there's no limit to where we can go. We always knew we needed the internet, We just didn't know how badly.
Be direct. Dell.
Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
The government took his brain and placed it in the perfectly engineered body. Critics call Now and Again riveting. The X-Files meets the $6 Million Man. The most original new drama of the season. Now and Again premieres CBS Friday, September 24th.
Lombardi, of course, the legendary coach here, along with Curly Lambeau and Mike Holmgren, and now Ray Rhodes in his first game. Coaching in this field that was first opened in 1957. With Antonio Freeman, Brett Favre has hit his last 7 passes in succession. Here's the blitz. He's down the middle, and it should have been picked off. Eric Turner.
Where was Schrader going?
Wow. Any doubt that he's run track?
It helps, though, to kind of look back to the quarterback and see if there's a football coming your way. That ball was not where Schrader was. I'm suspecting that Schrader wasn't where Brett Favre thought he was going to be.
Favre misses after hitting 7 in a row. Darian Gordon comes in as a nickelback. 7 of 9 for the day. Missed his first and his last, and it's 3rd down. And here comes the blitz again. Turner coming. Favre wings it, intercepted. Picked off by Darian Gordon in his first interception for the Oakland Raiders. And Brett Favre had 23 picks last season, in part because they had absolutely no running game. But that one.
Well, this is a carom. It's not like he threw it right into the arms of Darian Gordon. This is why they practice the tip drill. Brett trying to buy himself a little time and hits this guy right on the hands. Bradford has the football. It just bounces straight up in the air. Really was a fine throw by Brett. You know, that's one of those unfortunate things that ends up being an interception counting against Brett Favre, but that's a receiver's error. Darian Gordon had 4 picks last year for Denver.
Play fake, Gannon shovels it out to Tyrone Wheatley inside the 30. Now let's see what else is going on around the league. Back to New York, and here's Jim Nance.
Thank you, Vern. Does this look familiar? Vinny Testaverde, coming off his career year, just beats the down clock by a second and finds Richie Anderson out of the backfield. Yes, he's across. 7-3 Jets. Patriots have just gotten the football back on a turnover. Let's go back to you.
All right, Jim, that is a fairly significant season opening game, huh?
Yeah, you would say. It looks like beautiful weather there in New York.
Meanwhile, we had all that beautiful weather yesterday.
Yeah, it was spectacular here the last couple days. Got a little bit of a drizzle going on right now.
Gannon pulls up, fires it, caught at the 23-yard line. The catch made by Tim Brown and Brian Williams, number 51. A couple of Dallas youngsters leading on the football field in Green Bay. Well, the coaches rave about Brian Williams' athletic ability.
Well, he can run. He's a sideline to sideline linebacker. This linebacking core felt that they weren't turned loose last year, that they didn't make much happen. They weren't involved in many big plays, and part of the new scheme here by Emmett Thomas, the defensive coordinator, is going to involve the linebacking core involved a lot more in coming after the quarterback, playing more aggressive football.
Emmett Thomas, defensive coordinator, of course, working with Ray Rhodes, and Sherman Lewis, the offensive coordinator, which makes the Green Bay Packers the first team in NFL history to have 3 African-American coaches in those positions.
And of course, Emmett for 4 years was with Ray in Philadelphia as a coordinator, so they're not new coordinators. They're just all in the same place at the same time for the first time.
Hand off to Wheatley. He comes right. Bernardo Harris is up high to make the stop, number 55. Tyrone Wheatley had just a brief stop in Miami, and then Wheatley was involved in the battle down to the last cut with Rashaan Salaam.
And Salaam ended up being the loser in that battle between the two. Rashaan Salaam released, Wheatley kept, but again, Tyrone Wheatley is the kind of a back that when you look at him, when you look at his physical abilities, and you look at what he had done in the college ranks, it's kind of inexplicable why he's not more successful in the NFL.
Raiders 48 of those 63 came on one play. Here's Gannon, who slips, gets up, scrambles. Pump fake. Nice tackle made by Brian Williams.
Yeah, there's a good look at Brian Williams and his abilities in the open field. No, that's why Brian Williams, a lot of people here in Green Bay think that he's a Pro Bowl type linebacker waiting to happen. Now, this is pretty good stuff by Gannon. Goes down, Dotson can't get to him, but that's textbook right there. Drives right through the legs and takes him down. Former Trojan Brian Williams, not real tall, but he can motor.
3rd and 8. Richie and Randy Jordan in the backfield, split behind Gannon. Dudley, the tight end, is tight right.
Yeah,
there's the audible on defense, I think.
Well, you can't come up from under center and try to change the play with only 5 seconds left on the clock.
This is their second charge team timeout.
Raiders have to burn their second timeout. 1 left.
Welcome to the World Wide Web. And what a tangled web we weave. With so much traffic, the superhighway can become a parking lot. So Agilent Technologies makes systems and components that help turn internet gridlock into open road. It's a driver's dream.
Thinking about hair loss? Now there are effective FDA-approved treatments for men's hair loss. The sooner you make an appointment to see your doctor, the better. Or call 1-800-73-MERC to find out more. Merck, helping make hair loss history.
Jumbo, yo, suck! You can always tell when I'm in New York.
Universal Pictures takes you inside the game.
Don't smile at me, Davis. I hate that. I'm gonna throw a little harder than usual today.
Hello. Kevin Costner for love of the game.
It's between me and ugly.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere. From director Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Ray Liotta. Nominated for 6 Academy Awards. Goodfellas, CBS tonight.
7-3 Green Bay, 12 to go in the first half. And don't forget, coming up tonight after the men's final at the U.S. Open Tennis Championships, it'll be 60 minutes. That's next weekend, the Denver-Kansas City game. We're going to give you an early promo on that one. 3rd and 8. Blitz coming, all out. Here's Gannon in the corner. Has a man, Tim Brown. And Brown goes at Tyrone Williams, 1st and goal.
Well, what was promised by the new powers that be here in Green Bay, they're going to be more aggressive defensively. Well, if you come with that blitz, you better put some heat on the quarterback. Superb blocking up front by the Oakland Raiders. They picked up the blitz by the Packers. No pressure on Gannon, and Tyrone Williams doesn't even know where the football is. Tim Brown, that is an easy pitch and catch by Gannon and Brown, and just outstanding work by the Raiders up front and picking up that blitz.
Tim Brown goes for number 7 over 1,000 this year. Backs in the eye. Jordan gets it. Handoff. Follows Richie's block left side. No signal yet. And there is not a touchdown, despite Tim Brown telling us there was.
Randy Jordan emerged during the preseason as the short yardage back for the Raiders. He's number 28. He's following the block of 40. Richie, you see Tim Brown making his block. Tyrone Williams, one of the guys in there, and it sure looked like his momentum was going to take him into the end zone, but he was turned back that short.
2 tight ends and 1 running back. Jordan, the deep back behind Richie again. He gets the handoff. Touchdown Oakland. They take the lead.
Well, you talk about a surge. Look at the surge on the right side of the Raider offensive line. The guys in green end up back in the backfield. George Kuntz, 53, slips and falls. He's not a factor in the play, and that's a blowout by the Raiders offensive line and lead blockers.
Michael Husted on for the extra point. John Gruden's team has taken its first lead. Adam True will snap it back. Randy Jordan gets the touchdown from a yard away. The Raiders lead the Packers by 3 at Lambeau.
John Elway faced this coach 4 times, going 2-2 against him. But Elway had the greatest respect for this coach. He called him tough, smart, and demanding. He called him his mentor. He called him his hero. He also called him Dad.
Expect more from an original. Original Coors, brewed a mile high.
Original Coors. What'd you expect us to drink?
ダメだ。このバルブは高すぎるんだ。
サプライヤーはそこしかないですから。美智子はいかがですか。
美智子？
今オンラインで提示額が出ました。半額です。
どこの会社だ？
テキサスです。
テキサス？
どうも、ありがとう。
Great day in the morning. What once was lost now is found.
I thought these were extinct.
That's what they said about the coelacanth.
A full-size spare, just one of over 40 features now standard on the new Jetta.
It's a prehistoric fish. Disappeared over 10,000 years ago, and they caught one off the coast of Madagascar. Coelacanth.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. The U.S. Navy, let the journey begin. And by Original Coors, expect more from an original.
Raiders get points off the turnover. The interception from Darian Gordon. They go 32 in 7 plays. And Randy Jordan's second attempt from a yard out puts Oakland in the end zone. Desmond Howard and Basil Mitchell, a rookie free agent from Texas Christian University, are back, and this will be Mitchell at the 4-yard line. And his first carry, he had a terrific preseason and made this team as a backup. Well, very significant, I would think, Dan, for the Raiders to come into this place where Green Bay's won 30-31 and to kind of assume control.
Well, we've seen it get ugly here lots of times before. The Packers go up 7-0. They're moving the ball well. It looks like and we've seen it just disintegrate for the opponents. You're right. There's a lot of maturity by the Raiders to make the big play, get the interception, and not just crawl back into this game, but take the lead.
Well, 10-7, and John Gruden's team on defense right now.
Let him go again.
As Brett Favre brings them up. Packers have averaged starting their drives at their own 26, and they're inside that now at the 18-yard line. Favre rolling out, chased by Richard Harvey, and a thin Brett Favre scampers out of bounds.
And didn't appreciate that last little nudge there at the sidelines by Richard Harvey. You saw him turn around and kind of give him the stare. Clearly Brett Favre is on his way to the sidelines. He's not going to do much of anything, and he gets a little shove at the last minute by Harvey. And yeah, right there, Brett didn't like that. He kind of turns around. He gives but Brett Favre, to see him in person is really to see a noticeable change. Wouldn't you agree, Brian?
Oh. He looks sculpted. Second down.
Not lose our head.
Yeah, let's not. Here's Chamorro with another catch. Greg Beekers.
Where's his shoe? He's got the ball, but he's missing his left shoe here.
Huh. There it comes.
That's when you make a real cut. When you're supposed to fake the other guy out of his shoes, not necessarily lose your own. Already without a shoe, Mark Chamorro, when he made the break to the outside, lost his. I've heard of losing your footing. Coming right out of your shoes, and this is a spectacular start for Chewy. Now the Packers coach is telling us that they know he's not in game shape. The real question is to how long he's going to be able to go. You see, he's got the first down, but it's tough not to play at all during the preseason, then all of a sudden flip that switch on opening day.
Here's Chamorro. And the Packers did get the first down. Under 10 to go. 10-7. Oakland leads. Tyrone Davis has replaced Chmura. Bulging disc problem. 4 catches in the early going.
And I think that's smart, Vern. Give him some blows during the course of the game.
First down and 10. Here's Favre with a handoff into the end zone, or in the backfield.
Whoa.
And football. Loose ball. Oakland. Greg Beekert pulled it out, number 54. He made the contact. And then K.D. Williams, who as late as February in '99 was working as a sky cap at the Tampa airport with his first fumble recovery in the NFL.
Well, it's really good work by Levens. Not that much there at the beginning off left guard. He makes the cut back to the right side. But Beekert just, you could see intentionally, just gets his arm in there, rips it away from Levens. And fortunately for Oakland, it bounces right to K.D. Williams. Right to him. He's already on the ground, and the ball just one hops right into his chest.
Second turnover. First down and 10 from the 33.
And talk about good starting field position again.
Tyrone Wheatley skips out of a tackle down to the 25-yard line.
And that's the type of running, Vern, people have been looking for from Tyrone Wheatley ever since he came out of Michigan. 7 tough, hard yards. Good block at the point of attack. Just outstanding block by Barrett Robbins, the center. John Ritchie, the fullback, gets a good lead block. And right now, things are a little tense here for the assembled crowd at Lambeau Field.
Second down and 3. Backs in the eye behind Rich Gannon. It's Wheatley. Well, this is exactly what they hope for, to give Napoleon Kaufman a break. That's a first down. Let's go back to New York and check in with Jim Nantz.
All right, a sudden turn here, Vern, against the Jets. New England and Bledsoe striking long to Tony Simmons. He will outrace the Jets secondary. And as we speak, Vinny Testaverde is being helped off the field. He's injured. Looks like a leg injury. Let's go back to you.
All right, Jim. Tony Simmons, a pick from Wisconsin, as a matter of fact.
And we'll wait for word to see what's wrong with Vinny.
First down and 10. Blitz coming. Gannon, good pickup. Into the end zone for Jet, intercepted. Picked off by Mike McKenzie, the rookie third-round draft pick.
McKenzie looked like he was initially beaten. It looked like he was trailing on the play and somehow got back in.
Player is ruled down by contact. Play is ruled touchback. Green Bay ball, first down on the 20.
An interception in the end zone by rookie Mike McKenzie. Wow. What a saving grace for the Packers. They were looking at going down big.
That was interesting.
The Volkswagen Jetta. Sometimes everything just comes together. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Introducing Blue from American Express, a whole new kind of credit card.
You are watching CBS Sports, the exclusive home of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Here's Mike McKenzie right here. Here's James Jett. Look how McKenzie gives him the inside. Watch that release. Right there, that's an Oakland touchdown. This ball underthrown by Gannon, and Mike McKenzie able to get back in on the play.
Dorsey Levens on first down, comes left, tackled as he gets to the 25-yard line. And let's check in with Bonnie Bernstein.
All right, well, Vern, a lot of people have been skeptical because the Green Bay secondary, particularly in the dime package, has a lot of rookies in it. For Mike McKenzie, though, he's in a pretty good situation. He's a Memphis guy. In the offseason, guess who he went up against all the time? Isaac Bruce. Can't get much better preparation than that, Vern.
All right, Bonnie. Well, McKenzie, one of 3 cornerbacks chosen in the first 3 rounds.
There's
on the
Fred.
left, Antoine Edwards.
And on the right, Fred Vinson. And 1, 2, 3. And number 3 ends up being the starter.
How do you spell Randy Moss in the same division? Here's Favre. Shakes a sack. Goes deep. Tip. Incomplete.
Greg Beekert. I don't know what he was looking at. The middle linebacker for the Raiders just runs right by Brett Favre. Looks like Brett had the force field on there or something. And Greg Beekert, geez, the leading tackler for the Raiders 3 out of the last 4 years. Look, hello. It's he didn't even really make that much of an attempt to grab Brett. It looked like he was confused or distracted by something.
And then Harvey tipped it as it was intended for Chimura. 3rd and 6. Raiders defense superb on 3rd down last year. Here's Favre, drills it, caught. Bill Schrader, first down, Green Bay at the 40.
Again, a good look at Bill Schrader and his receiving skills with a hands catch. The ball's out away from him. It's up a little high, but he covers it, but he makes the hands catch. No bobbling. He doesn't have to be one of those receivers that has to get up and catch it with his body. He has come a long way. He's still a kid.
Couple of years on the practice squad, 1 year on the injured reserve. 31 catches last season. Here's Levens. And he powers over the right side, moves it out to the 44-yard line into the hands of Greg Beekert. Now let's try this again. Tonight on 60 Minutes, a Russian KGB agent comes out of the shadows and reveals in detail how the Kremlin planned to wipe us out. That's 60 Minutes tonight. 10-7 here, 6.5 to go before the break. And Mike McKenzie just thwarted what seemed to be an Oakland touchdown as Jett found himself with an opening.
One of the rare quality first down runs by the Packers offense.
2nd and 6 after the pickup of 4. Favre with his backs in the eye. Levens the deep back will get the handoff. Cuts right nicely. First down. Boy, he made a nice move. 9-yard gain. Dorsey Levens.
A lot of transition on the Packer offensive line. Adam Timmerman is gone. He went to the Rams. Rivera had to move over to the right side. Walls at the left guard. And that's just good work up front. That was creating a seam, walling it off to both sides, and Levens made the most of it. 8 carries, 34 yards so far in the game for Dorsey Levens.
Mike Wall, number 68, getting his first start as a pro today, going up against Russell Maryland. And there's a catch out of the backfield. That'll be down at the 41-yard line. Well, let's go back to New York and check in once again with Jim Nance.
Well, Vern, Dan, I want to update you. Watch it. This is the play Vinny got injured on. Just watch the quarterback here, untouched. Our Phil Simms is calling the game. He speculates it's a ruptured Achilles. He's been carried off the field, carted to the locker room. Tom Tupa's in at quarterback. In fact, threw a touchdown to Keyshawn on his first play. Let's go back to Green Bay.
And, of course, one immediately thinks of, oh, boy, the loss of his father in the offseason. Father Al, Vinny Testaverde had just a magical year a year ago.
Oh, and Phil, if that's what Phil thinks, you can see a ruptured Achilles. And again, that's how it normally happens when you're untouched. For some reason, it gets brittle the older you get. And if that's indeed what it is.
The play is non-reviewable. The play stands. Green Bay ball, 2nd down.
That brings into the context of the instant replay, which is back in effect this year. 2 challenges per half. I'm not sure that John Gruden was going to use a challenge.
Well, keep in mind now, the Raiders have used 2 of their timeouts. You must have a timeout to challenge.
Favre sacked back at the 45.
You know, when you start squandering your timeouts early, Vern, it's something to really pay attention to. You must have a timeout to have a challenge, you know, until you get in the last 2 minutes of the half. The Raiders got to be careful. They're down to only 1 timeout.
And looking at a 3rd down after the last sack.
Well, kind of an awkward twist there by Brett Favre as he was tied up. James Harris, the defensive end, had him around the lower legs.
Schrader
came out of it looking well.
Schrader goes right, Freeman left. 3rd down and 8 in a 3-point ball game. Favre with time, wings it, caught Antonio Freeman. Eric Turner with the tackle. Antonio Freeman from Favre, a gain of 15. A wealthy young man who signed a $42 million contract this summer.
And credit the offensive line. This was because of good protection that Freeman was able to stop, stutter, and then get the extra couple of yards where he came open over the middle. Brett was allowed to take a good look downfield and then able to step up and wait for Freeman to clear back to the inside. Look at that pickup of the stunt. Really nicely done by the Packers front 5.
Gain of 15, 1st down at the 30. Quick setup, Favre throws it, Schrader drops it.
Whoa, well, that was a rocket ship from Brett Favre. I know Bill Schrader maybe thinks he should have caught this, and he right on the hands. But wow, did that thing have a little juice to it.
Saw those new guns or that new gun of Brett Favre.
That was maybe could have been thrown just a touch, just a little softer, maybe.
Just a teeny bit.
Look at me!
4,000 yards last season. Again, here's the handoff. Dorsey Levens. Tackle made by Darrell Russell. Well, week 2 of the National Football League on CBS. Dan and I will be in Minnesota to see the Raiders in the first game of our doubleheader next week, and the second game most of you will watch Denver against Kansas City. It all starts with the NFL Today. Randy and Jim.
Is that guy on the right sitting down? Or what? Why are 3 of those guys standing up? One of them sitting down.
Rode into town on a very short Harley. 3rd down. Here's Favre, left side. Oh, tipped and in. It's caught by Beekert. It was tipped by Eric Allen, and here is Greg Beekert.
Well, the 3rd turnover for the Green Bay Packers here in the first half. 1 fumble by Dorsey Levens, 2 interceptions against Brett Favre. We still got a 3-point ball game thanks to those turnovers.
They created their microprocessor in 1971, and the faster their chips have performed, the faster their company has grown. Today, the Intel design is the brains behind the majority of the world's PCs. By the 21st century, their chip could execute 2 billion instructions in 1 second. Where do you learn about such fast-thinking companies? Exactly. NASDAQ Amex, the market of markets.
Man has always dreamed of getting to the other side. Some make it, some don't. But at least your phone calls get there. Because Agilent provides technologies for almost every kind of communications network. From way down here to way up here.
The King of Queens has got a good thing going. Loving wife? Got it.
You think of one thing missing from our marriage, what would that be?
A commitment to dieting?
Delightful father-in-law?
What do you need birth control pills? Does he touch you?
Got that too. Really cool friends? Got it.
The Met game. I could kiss you on the mouth.
Excuse me, I'm the one who bought the tickets.
And when it comes to comedy, he rules.
Still working on that.
The King of Queens. Season premiere, CBS Monday, September 20th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the NASDAQ stock market.
Brett Favre on the sideline has had 2 tipped balls intercepted.
Tipped by his own receivers. I mean, Brett has 2 interceptions against him. Neither one of them his fault.
10-7 Oakland. 2:41 to go before the break. 1 back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and the 1 back gets about 1 yard.
This interception is a toss to Mark Chmura. Take a look at it to the left side. Chmura releases, goes to the outside. Look at this pass. Hits him right on the hands, right through his hands. And Greg Biekert, after the tip, comes up with the interception. He hit Corey Bradford on the hands. It was an interception. He hit Chmura on the hands. It's an interception.
Gannon will scramble, looks for help, comes right. Tries to get by Brian Williams and cannot. He is down at the 41-yard line.
Another look, Vern, of Brian Williams and his ability to close to the guy with the football.
Emmett Thomas said of Brian Williams yesterday morning, he is a hidden gem.
2-minute warning.
Buy a Gateway Essential PC for $999. Or you can buy a PC from a bargain basement company for $499. Then add a monitor, lots of software, 24/7 tech support, a year on the internet, and end up paying over $1,200. With Gateway, you'll get all that, and you still end up paying $999. Which one's the real bargain? Call 1-800-GATEWAY for a Gateway Essential PC with an Intel Celeron processor.
Whoa, a constrictor knot with a midshipman's hitch.
What?
That's quality work.
Ah, train! Hurry!
That's the problem these days. Everybody's rushing.
Wow, that's a constrictor knot with a midshipman's hitch.
There's just no stopping a frost-brewed Coors Light.
This week on The Late Show, don't miss Kid Scientist, Dixie Chicks, Meatloaf, and Heather Locklear. Monday, don't miss Ladies Man star Sharon Lawrence and singer Nancy Griffin.
10-7 Oakland with the lead and the ball coming up at halftime on the NASDAQ halftime report. Jim Nantz, Craig James, Randy Cross, and Jerry Glanville scores and highlights in a preview of the U.S. Open men's final. Agassi and Todd Martin. That's all coming up just a couple of minutes from now. 3rd down 5. Raiders with a 3-point lead. They have only the 1 timeout remaining. Packers bring 6. Gannon goes left. Oh my gosh, he had Tim Brown. But he had to hurry.
He had to hurry, and boy, that was a little underhanded action. There's a flag down on the field, right up about midfield, about the 49-yard line of Green Bay. An offensive interference against the Raiders.
Pass interference. Offense number 82. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, that's James Jett. He's at the top of your screen. He comes to the inside and runs right into Mike McKenzie, the rookie. That's called a pick.
And for the first time this afternoon,
you got to be a little more subtle than that.
Leo Araguz, and guess who's the deep returner? Desmond Howard, after a 2-year sojourn in an Oakland uniform. Howard, who had a brilliant year here in this spot in 1996. Back as a free agent and counterpunches this one to the 22.5-yard line. 48-yard punt and 12 on the return. Thursday, September 23rd on CBS, the creator of Ally McBeal and The Practice is checking into Chicago Hope. There'll be a new attitude, new faces, and a whole new hope. Don't miss the season premiere Thursday, September 23rd on CBS, America's most watched network. Desmond Howard with the return at the 22.5.
Well, right now the Packers with 3 turnovers already in this half. Better take care of the football. This is, you know, you'd like to get into scoring position, but be careful with the football.
Barr dances right, and that one incomplete to William Henderson. Charles Woodson was very much a presence in the neighborhood.
And stoppage of the clock, which means now the Raiders are thinking about getting the football back and doing something with it, trying to score again before halftime.
Now track the stats of your favorite players plus New York Jets wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson. He is profiled in the NFL Insider Spotlight only at www.nfl.com. I'm always afraid I'll put one too many W's. Get started, you can't stop. Here's Favre looking left, pulls up, lets it go, incomplete at the 35.
It stops the clock again now with 1:31. A frustrating first half for the Green Bay Packers on offense. Brett finds his way out of the pocket, breaks out to the left side. Now to the far side of the field. Keep in mind now that Brett Favre is moving to his left.
Oh.
Bill Schrader wide open, but he's a long way away. And Brett Favre, a right-handed quarterback, kind of has his back turned to Schrader. You'd have to have eyes in the side of your head to be able to see all the way across the field.
3rd and 10. Back split. Freeman in motion. Flag is down. Favre dumps it to Levens, who is caught at the 30 and is down. Now we'll see what the infraction. The flag was thrown by the referee, Tony Corrente, and this will be against the Packers. Oakland might want to decline this and get the ball.
Illegal shift. Number 86 and 33 moving prior to the snap simultaneously and not resetting. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
If you're Ray Rhodes, the only word that comes to mind for that series is disastrous. 3 incomplete passes and a penalty. That was special. Used up about, what, 15 seconds on the clock or whatever, maybe 20 seconds on the clock. And now you got to punt and give the Raiders another shot at it.
And Chris Hansen, again, the story on Hansen, signed as a free agent last Wednesday. This is his second punt. He had an adventure here in the final preseason game against Miami. Darian Gordon takes this one, and a nice special teams play by Jim Nelson. A flag is also down at the 40-yard line. Got a couple, as a matter of fact. Against Oakland? 2 of them, twice.
Yeah, they can only get you once.
Yep.
Holding. Receiving team, number 34. The penalty is declined. Holding. Number 85. Receiving team. Penalty is accepted. 10 yards. 1st down.
And another reminder as we near halftime here at Lambeau Field that the NASDAQ halftime report will feature Jim Nantz, Greg James, Randy Cross, and Jerry Glanville. They'll have scores and highlights from this opening day around the National Football League and a preview of the U.S. Open men's final. I see bunting here.
There is bunting here. It's opening day. And I'll tell you what, Vern, I want to hear what the guys have to say at halftime about Vinny Testaverde. I wonder if they know anything else about the Jets quarterback.
Brings to mind the acquisition just about a week or 3 weeks ago of Rick Meyer by Bill Parcells. He was on the Green Bay roster. Here's Tyrone Wheatley out to the 35, but Jim Nantz told you earlier, if you were with us, that Tom Tuchel was in as the backup to Testaverde after the injury. Meyer, of course, the number 2 selection the year in which Drew Bledsoe was chosen number 1 by Parcells. Has really had a tough career in the National Football League. Stops at Seattle, Chicago, and here before going to the Jets.
Here are the Raiders on the road, up by 3 points, coming down to the end of the first half. Content to hammer it away on the ground.
Wheatley is stiffened.
Hello,
Brian Williams.
Hello.
Oh, dear.
My name is Brian Williams. I went to USC. Your name's Tyrone Wheatley. You're from Michigan. This is the Rose Bowl, and wham!
You know, it only took you 19 minutes or so to get the Michigan name in. Huh?
Well, I'm waiting. The USC guy's the guy that hurt the Michigan guy.
Yeah, that's right. Here's Wheatley. and Leroy Butler from Florida State.
John Gruden told us yesterday that Tyrone Wheatley was going to be a factor in this ball game, that he was going to play him, he was going to give him reps. And Tyrone Wheatley, it kind of surprises me. He's a much bigger part of this Raider offense than I think either one of us expected.
For his career, 33 catches and 218 yards. Second down. Gannon has a man wide open, and James Jett is out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A 25-yard gain, and that leaves 9 seconds before the break.
James Jett, the top of your screen. Nothing fancy about this. Just a 15-yard hook pattern and a really soft umbrella thrown there by Tyrone Williams and the Green Bay secondary. From this position, what do you got here, Vern? What, about a 47-yard field goal,
right.
I guess?
No noticeable wind. Gannon, quick setup. Goes deep, and oh boy, he and Tim Brown were in different counties. So Michael Husted will come on to try his 3rd field goal of the first half.
No chance of finding the football and Tim Brown in the same frame.
Husted 1 of 2. And this one will be from 48 yards away. Adam True will snap it back. Leo Araguz is the holder. That's going to stay left. And the Raiders squander yet another opportunity.
That is the end of the first half.
We've reached the break. The Raiders could be up by 16-7. Instead, they have to settle for a 3-point halftime lead. Let's check in with Bonnie Bernstein, who is with the Raider coach.
All right, John, we knew the defense was going to be solid. What do you make of the biggest change on offense this year, Rich Gannon?
What do I make of it? We're 0-0. We're in a tight ball game. We got to finish strong. This is going to be a tough second half, but we got to come out ready to go.
What do you want to expect in the second half? What improvements?
Well, we obviously got to make field goals, and we have to not turn the ball over in the red zone. We just got to keep rallying on defense. Favre's dangerous. We got to make more plays than they do.
All right, John, thanks. Vern?
All right, Bonnie. Michael Husted, acquired from Tampa because they were unhappy with the field goal percentage posted a year ago by Greg Davis. And Husted, an inauspicious debut, 1 of 3. But he did miss from 47 and 48.
And he missed badly on the last one, and that's not the kind of a confidence-inspiring kick that a kicker would like to take into halftime. Again, though, you have to consider the Green Bay Packers fortunate. They turned the football over 3 times, and they're only trailing by 3 points at halftime. You're a little frustrated if you're the Raiders, and you don't have a bigger lead than this.
Oakland up 10-7. A touchdown run by Randy Jordan and a 41-yard field goal from Michael Husted. The touchdown for Green Bay came first, and that was a 4-yard toss from Brett Favre into the hands of Bill Schrader to give Green Bay an early 7-0 lead. So 10 unanswered from Oakland, but they might have had more. We'll continue with the NASDAQ halftime report.
The men of CBS Monday are thoughtful.
Hey, where are you going?
Meals on Wheels.
Caring.
Jenny, where are you running off to?
Senior Center. Sing along.
Sensitive.
I thought I saw this lost dog at the park. I want to go find him.
But most of all, they're just men.
That was close. I thought I was going to miss the kickoff. Good thing I'm quick on my feet.
Yeah. Good thing. Hi, guys.
He made us come here.
He was the new guy.
Ladies' Man Between the King of Queens and Raymond premieres Monday, September 20th.
The Early Show, coming November 1st.
So, I asked this girl over for dinner, and she says she's going to Damon's. I'm thinking, who the heck is Damon? Then she goes on and on about Damon's irresistible barbecued ribs and chicken, and Damon's prime rib, and Damon's famous onion loaf. Damon's. Then she tells me what a great time she has at Damon's. Well, goody. And how she couldn't pass up an evening like that. I told her that in the future, a simple no would do.
Try our award-winning ribs, tasty prime rib, or our famous onion loaf and celebrate 20 years at Damon's.
Hey, Mark, thanks to you now, everything's .com, you know? Beachballs.com, arugulasalad.com. I mean, .com on.
Oh, here we go again.
Hey, .com, Padre. We both like Miller Lite for the same reason. It tastes great, un-commonly so.
You know I like it because it's so smooth.
Ooh, I guess we're in .compatible, huh?
Not if you lose the lane .comedy.
Hey, that's a good .com back.
Miller Lite. Taste a true Pilsner.
.com here often?
What would it be worth to wake up in a great mood?
I'm in a great mood.
Because you had a good night's sleep.
I slept like a baby.
In a nice, comfortable room.
What a room, yeah.
How about 10% off?
Hey, I like that 10%.
With Super 8's VIP card, it's yours, guaranteed.
VIP, that's me.
At over 1,800 locations. Clean, friendly Super 8.
Clean, friendly, yeah.
Super 8, all the room you want.
Yeah.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Super 8, all the room you want.
The Sports presentation of the NASDAQ Halftime Report is sponsored by the NASDAQ Stock Market.
Well, the NFL's 80th season is underway. Welcome to the NASDAQ Halftime Report. Jim Nance with you from our New York studios. Concern everywhere, especially around here, about Vinny Testaverde and that injury. Still waiting for official word as to the seriousness of it. Craig James, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville alongside. And let's go through the scores here at halftime. Jets leading the Tupa touchdown pass on the first play in there to Keyshawn Johnson and Bill Parcells' team. Craig, take us through it. What's happened here?
Well, you know, what happens here is there's a fumble on the play. When he plants, you can't see Vinny, but he comes back. It looks like he blows out his Achilles tendon, which unfortunately would be a season-ending injury. But it is a play where, you know, guys like him, when they go down with that type of pain, you say to yourself immediately, uh-oh, it's not good. Tom Tupa on the first play, his first pass play, finds Keyshawn Johnson. This is the key for the Jets. Keyshawn's got to step up and lead them. Somebody's got to take Testaverde's place.
Vinny is pretty a tough dude, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you see that kind of reaction, what does it tell you?
Immediately. As soon as I saw this guy go down, I said, this is an unfortunate deal, and the AFC East and the NFL playoff picture, everything changes on week 1.
All right, let's continue in the NFL today. Here's another one for you. Buffalo and the Colts. The Colts have lost 4 in a row to the Bills. Doug Flutie trying to continue that magic this year with the Bills. And Randy, first half.
Well, earlier in the game, Peyton Manning missed a couple play-action passes deep, but this one he does not miss to E.G. Green. Down the left sideline. Looks like he's going to score, but he ends up down on the 1-yard line.
Edgerrin James, the rookie, you love him, huh?
Look at the pads. Look how low he goes into that hole. He was stuffed for a play before that. He went right in there, made sure he was going to get below those linebackers.
Doesn't have huge stats, James, in the first half. 13 carries, 24 yards, but did get the touchdown there. Oakland and Green Bay, and at halftime, the Raiders, even with 2 missed field goals, lead the Packers. Ray Rhodes making his debut as the Packers coach. And all week, I'm serious, folks, Jerry Glanville's been talking about Bill Schrader going to be the guy this year.
He's going to, because I think Brett Favre's going to be the MVP maybe in the National Football League. But today it's Oakland's running backs. Here's Napoleon Kaufman on a counter. And how about this? The other back that's running real good today for them, Tyrone Wheatley.
That's, that right here is Napoleon Kaufman breaking 148 yards. That's up a field goal. And the Raiders with their touchdown from Randy Jordan a yard out. They lead by a field goal. Look at the Bears. Cade McNown has played, and Kurt Enos looks good. Curtis Enos.
Gary Crowton's the offensive coordinator, former head coach of Louisiana Tech, opened up the offense, and the Bears surprisingly look really good.
And Cade McNown has played, and he has been sharp. Cincinnati and the Titans. McNair, 2 touchdown passes. He's rushed for another, and the Bengals have just gotten on the board in the final 2 minutes of the half. Ravens and the Rams look sharp, especially Kurt Warner, their new quarterback. He has been picked off twice, but he did throw a touchdown. Cowboys and Redskins, Johnson over 200 yards passing first half. Eagles, Plummer's been picked off twice, and Doug Peterson's debut, 2 touchdown passes. Saints score on the opening kickoff, a fumble recovery, and George Seifert's debut for Carolina, but they've come back to tie it. And when we come back, we'll have a report from the U.S. Open as we get set for the men's final later today here on CBS.
Welcome back, man. The fans are #1 in our hearts, and we're going to give them a lot to cheer about this season.
We're going to be yelling, screaming.
Hey! There, fellas! We're #1!
#1, baby!
The government took his brain and placed it in the perfectly engineered body. Critics call Now and Again riveting. The X-Files meets the $6 million man. Only the most original new drama of the season. Now and Again series premiere. Then, Don and Yasmin are moving in together, but there are some bridges.
She's irritable.
You just don't cross. I hate you. Nash Bridges season premiere after Now and Again. CBS Friday, September 24th.
If you haven't been watching CBS Primetime, look what you've been missing.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
The women of CBS. We've come a long way, baby.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ Halftime Report is sponsored by the NASDAQ Stock Market.
And welcome back to our New York studios, the NASDAQ Halftime Report. Coming up next on CBS Sports, an All-American U.S. Open men's final between Andre Agassi and Todd Martin. For a report from Flushing Meadows, here are Bill McAtee and Patrick McEnroe.
The grounds of the USTA National Tennis Center, always one of the toughest tickets in New York on one of the biggest days in tennis, the men's final of the U.S. Open. And that's what's coming up later. Andre Agassi against Todd Martin. They're both 29 years old, but that's where the similarities end. 9 finals for Andre Agassi, 4 titles. Todd Martin has been in only 1 final prior to today. Andre Agassi obviously an overwhelming favorite. Does Todd Martin, Patrick, have any chance?
Well, the difference is also, Bill, in personality, but Todd Martin does have a chance in this one. He's beaten Agassi 5 times before, including once at Wimbledon, and this is a brand new Todd Martin. He's had multiple injuries in his career, but yesterday in the semifinals against Cedric Pioline, a guy who's been in 2 Grand Slam finals, Martin was devastating. He can put together a big serve game and those big returns. He will give Agassi some trouble.
And Cedric Pioline said after the match, I've never played this Todd Martin before. So the men's final of the U.S. Open coming up, Agassi against Martin. That's after football.
Bill and Patrick, thank you. But let's turn to the real tennis experts. We saw Todd Martin Thursday night. I took you guys out to the Open.
Not all of us. One didn't show up.
Yeah, that's true. Tennis almost didn't recover from your presence there. But who wins this men's final? What do you think?
I've known Agassi for about 10 years. Got to go with my old buddy, Andre Agassi.
Oh, the old name dropper.
Name dropper. You're taking the one with the knee brace.
I'm not taking the guy. No, I don't want the big, tall drink of water. Give me the bald-headed fella from looks like a pirate. Give me
You guys got zero courage, man. You said
zero courage.
I'm going with Todd Martin. Todd Martin.
You weren't even there to see him.
Well, that's okay. That's probably why I got better insight than you.
And you're the same guy who said Philadelphia is the worst team in football. And look what's happening today. And the NFL on CBS will continue in just a moment.
For Jag, the address is CBS.
It's 4th down. Looks like they're going to have to go for it. There's the snap.
Come on, Johnson.
Johnson scrambles in the
Throw it, baby. Throw it. Okay, you see him? Look at number 44. He's open. Come on, Johnson. Come on. Come on, Johnson. He's wide open. He's right there for you, baby. Pass left. Pass left. Pass left, you.
With QB1, you predict the plays before they happen. Log on to QB1 and you could win a trip to the Super Bowl.
This is awfully sweet of you, Mrs. Anderson.
Well, I like for newcomers to feel at home in the neighborhood.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate it.
I hope so. They seem like such nice people. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Colossus Bakery can help you welcome some old, new friends to Cleveland. Thank you.
And I'll need that plate back.
But bring your Visa card, because Colossus doesn't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Hey, this is Dan Wheeler, host of QVC's NFL Team Shop, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Sure, I'm your guy for cool NFL gear, but I'm also your chance to win a trip for 2 to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Just watch any Monday, write down the item numbers for 3 products, and mail it to QVC. You can enter each week, and it's an offer for you as an NFL Sunday ticket viewer. So tune in Mondays for the gear and the getaway. What? I can't get away with this? Chapo, you suck!
Can always tell when I'm in New York.
Universal Pictures takes you inside the game.
Don't smile at me, Davis. I hate that. I'm gonna throw a little harder than usual today.
Hello, Kevin Costner. For love of the game.
It's between me and ugly.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, September 17th at theaters everywhere.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Getting ready for the start of the second half. Oakland and the Green Bay Packers 10-7. The Raiders lead it. But Dan Deerdorf 5 times inside the 30-yard line, and they come away with only 10 points.
You're right, but they do have 10, the Packers 7. I think the Packers, first of all, extremely fortunate to only be down 3 points, turning the ball over 3 times. I think Tyrone Wheatley is going to play a big part. If I have the lead and I'm John Gruden, I'm going to give it to my big back.
All right. And the Raiders will get it to start. Deep by Randy Jordan. It'll be a touchback and come out to the 20. Halftime stats, 10-7. First downs fairly even. The rushing yards 94-50. Slight Green Bay edge in the passing yards and the total yardage. Not much to choose from.
No, but the lone Raider touchdown, a direct result of the first of Brett Favre's 2 interceptions, the one that bounced off the hands of Corey Bradford, and Darian Gordon picked it off. That one led directly to the Raiders stuffing it into the end zone.
Napoleon Kaufman opens at tailback. Ricky Dudley comes tight to the right side. And Richie is the blocking back behind Rich Gannon. Toss to Kaufman. He gets around Bonnie Holiday, breaks into the secondary, and is out to the 35-yard line with the first down. Leroy Butler chopped him down, and Darren Sharper came over to help. A gain of 15 on the first down play.
Now that was a nice piece of misdirection. A good look at the play, like it's going to go to the right, and then the flip back to the backside to Kaufman. And again, that's where you want Napoleon Kaufman. You want him on the perimeter. You want him outside where he can shake people. There comes a flag.
5-yard penalty remains. Second down.
Rich Gannon over there arguing. You're not allowed to have 12 players in the huddle and then at the last minute run somebody out towards the sidelines. And that's exactly what the Raiders did there. Gannon pleading his case that you got to give us enough time, but referee Tony Correnti saying, hey, I gave you plenty of time. You're just not allowed to have 12 in the huddle.
5 penalties in the early going now for the most penalized team of the 90s. It's first down and 15. Blitz coming. Good blitz pickup. And the catch is not made at the 35-yard line. That is an incomplete pass. Ricky Dudley, who's being pressured by Jeremy Brigham, former fifth-round draft pick.
Incomplete. The player never had firm possession of the football.
No, we talked with John Gruden yesterday and said, is this the time for Ricky Dudley to break out? He said, I don't know.
But he also said, I hope so.
Yeah.
We're all looking and waiting for Ricky Dudley. Ricky Dudley, this is a make-or-break year for him in my mind, Vern. It's his 4th year. This is the case. There's Jeremy Brigham, his backup that the Raiders just love. Dudley either does it this year or you got to wonder if he ever will.
2nd and 15, handoff. Kaufman skips over left guard across the 30 out to the 33-yard line and into the hands of Santana Dotson. Dotson, number 71, another young man with ties to the Raiders. His dad, Alphonse Dotson, spent a couple of years playing out there.
And Santana is one of those guys that doesn't get the kind of recognition that a lot of players in this league thinks he deserved. You got Gilbert Brown at the other tackle, and of course you had Reggie White for so many years on this defensive line. But Santana Dotson has been a steady influence in there, a steady performer.
3rd and 10. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. Line calls being made. Gannon drops back. Steps up and drills it. Caught. First down into the hands of James Jett.
Well, the Packers electing to come with only a 4-man rush, and they don't put any pressure on Gannon. Tyrone Williams comes up. They're playing a zone. He comes up, puts a little hit. Williams this late coming back from the middle. Here's a look. It's only a 4-man rush. Wisniewski stands up. Robbins stands up. DiNapoli, that's just very, very solid work by the interior of the Raider offensive line.
Dime defense in effect now by Green Bay. They got the rookie defensive backs in there. Tyrone Wheatley replaces Kaufman and picks up
about 4 yards out down to the 42-yard line. We did get confirmation, if you missed it at the half, that Vinny Testaverde's season has come to an end. A ruptured left Achilles tendon. Awful news.
Yes, it is. Quarterbacks have come back from that before, Dan Marino being the most obvious. But again, at Vinny's age, it will not be easy. It will be a struggle to come back. And again, that's just, after the year he had last year, just doesn't seem fair.
Gannon will scramble. Drills it, has Tim Brown. The catch is made. That's good for a first down.
And what did Tim Brown tell us yesterday, Vern? We've got a quarterback that can run. It makes all of our jobs different in the sense that we must stay alive. Your pattern is never finished until you hear a whistle blow. Rich Gannon, it's the toughest thing for a right-handed quarterback to do, throw moving to his left, and he delivers it perfectly to Timmy Brown.
Timmy Brown started the day with 960 career yards, going for 10,000 for his career.
And by the way, Vern, here go the Raiders inside the 30 one more time.
6-time, 9,600 career yards. Let me correct myself. First down and 10 at the 29. Double tight end set. And there's the bigger of the two backs. It was Tyrone Wheatley. Well, John Gruden said he's going to mix them up.
Well, you've got to lead. You're in Green Bay territory. You're on the road. You're on a grass field. You want to hammer away with the big guy. You don't want to get that little ball peen hammer out here and go ping, ping, ping. You'd like to get the sledge. Boom, boom, boom.
2nd and 9. Well, he boomed for a yard then. James Jett, the only wide out. He's wide left.
Not many people have ball peen hammers anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Did I date myself with that?
Gannon play fake. Gannon, Santana Dotson has him at the 36.
Nobody open. And you don't want to be frivolous when you're in scoring territory. So Rich Gannon not being able to find anyone, trying to buy a little extra time. Dotson stays with him. Gannon were nowhere close getting ready to throw the football. Nice work by the secondary of the Packers. They threw a blanket on everybody in a white shirt.
Second sack. It's 2nd and 18. Gannon with the change. Blitz coming. Goes right side, crossing route, and James Jett looked like he might have been open.
And he was guarded by another one of those rookies. That was Fred Vincent, 31, who was running with Jett. These corners are worried about getting beat to the outside. Jett gets away to the inside. He's held a little bit by Vincent. He gets his left hand and grabs some jersey.
Little outside Hustad's range. He's 1 for 3 today. And that would be this would be a 52-yarder, so Araguz will punt it. And Desmond Howard pitches his 10 at the 10-yard line. Leo Araguz way up in the air. Nicely done. Fair catch called by Howard, and it takes a Packer bounce, but Adam True, who snapped the ball back, is down to claim the football at the 11-yard line. But 6 times inside the 30, 10 points on the board for the Raiders. Packers at the line, first down and 10 at their own 11, trailing by 3. First possession of the second half. They'll operate with 2 tight ends now. And Brett Favre at quarterback. Play handoff, Levens coming left. Lance Johnstone is there to make the tackle. Coming Monday, September 20th, the stretch of open road, a brand new Harley, and a man who has no idea how to ride it. Get your motor running. Watch the King of Queens Wild Season premiere 1 week from Monday on September 20th on CBS, America's most watched network.
Get your motor running.
Packers trying to get their motor running now. Second down, and they operate from inside their own 15, trailing by 3. Favre leads Bill Schrader by just a touch too much. Eric Allen was defending on the play, and Brett Favre, remember, he had that jammed thumb in the Monday night preseason game against Denver.
But he's holding his right hand right now. Obviously, Brett not happy with what happened to his right hand. Let's look at the conclusion of his throw. And his right hand ends up making contact. Was that Russell, Maryland, I think?
I believe it was.
Yeah, and ooh, that hurts. Oh, now here's something to really pay attention to.
3rd and 8. He'll try to throw. And it sails, but it's caught by Antonio Freeman. And Freeman gets by Charles Woodson. Here's Antonio Freeman finally bumped out of bounds with a huge gain. Marquise Walker caught up with him, but Brett Favre is not feeling good.
No, that's a good moment for the Packers in that they get a big gainer, but Brett Favre's right hand is obviously hurt. Matt Hasselbeck is the backup quarterback, a 51-yard game. First of all, it's good protection. A gamble in the Raiders secondary, missed tackle by Woodson, a good block downfield, and here comes Antonio Freeman. But still, the main story here right now, the right hand of Brett Favre, the right thumb in particular.
He'll hand it off. Levens tries to sweep to the outside and does so. That was a 51-yard pass play to Antonio Freeman, but Favre really in pain. There's a flag on the last play, so this one might come back.
There is no foul on the play for offensive holding. Defensive player played around the end, slipped and fell to where he was going with his own feet. No foul. 2nd down.
And that's the officials conferring with one another. To one, it looks like a hold. He doesn't see the slip. That's quality work by the officials checking with one another.
This is Brett Favre just a moment ago after Levens had the ball in his hands. 2nd down and 3, and Brett is in pain.
And he has a very high threshold of pain.
Yes. He'll hand it off again to Levens. Levens runs into the back of Marco Rivera, comes left. That should be enough to move the chain. Anthony Newman made the tackle.
Did you see Brett Favre when he went to make that handoff? As he goes back, he's holding his right hand up against his side, so it doesn't even bobble and jiggle when he's on the move. He's going everything he can do. There is the first-year player from Boston College, Matt Hasselbeck. He had 9 touchdowns in the preseason.
But he's not.
These are real bullets now.
Yes, exactly. 1st down and 10. Favre across the middle, incomplete. Good defensive play by Richard Harvey, number 52, and that'll bring up a 2nd down. Watch the injury again, and keep in mind he had a similar kind of injury in that preseason game against Denver.
Russell, Maryland, number 67, there on the left of your screen. He's going to get some penetration, and on the follow-through, keep watching the left-hand side there. On the follow-through, somehow it's Lance Johnstone there. This is not the. Was that the one where he got hurt? Was that the long pass?
Here's Favre. Here's Freeman. Here's a 1st down at the 15.
Well, it was Lance Johnstone, number 51, that on the follow-through you could see him ticket. But even in an attempt to go hand the football off, Brett Favre is tucking that right hand up against his side. Normally, you know the old expression, shake it off. That's really what Brett Favre is trying to do right now, and my initial reaction is that he's not shaking it off.
The Packers have moved in part because of that 51-yard pass play down to the 15. They trail by 3. Handoff. Levens goes right. Rivera is knocked backwards as he tries to make the block. And then Darrell Russell, who has not been a man whose name we've mentioned a lot today, is there to make the tackle.
There's James Harris, number 93, the left defensive end. Russell, number 96. Pro Bowl last year, a starter in only his 3rd year in the league out of USC. Remember, he was the 2nd guy drafted back in '97, and he is one of the premier defensive tackles in the game. He's one of the top 2 or 3. At this age, this guy's got nothing but an upside.
2nd down. Davis in motion. Favre fires it. Touchdown, Antonio Freeman.
How tough is Brett Favre? How tough is Brett Favre. A blow by the Raiders secondary. Absolutely no idea back there which one of them was going to cover Antonio Freeman. The Raiders' go-to guy you'd think would be the one guy for sure that would be accounted for by the Raiders in their secondary.
Freeman has 5 catches and a touchdown. Ryan Longwell with the extra point. Brett Favre after the pass had been complete.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. Nike, and by the new larger Saturn L Series.
Favre to Freeman 3 times in an 88-yard drive. Antonio Freeman with the big play of 51 and then the 12-yard catch. And this young man who gambled last year and had a monster season with 84 catches gets his first touchdown of 1999. Packers lead. Here is Randy Jordan with the kickoff return, and he is out. Flag flies, 2 of them on the far side of the field. Well, let's add a 3rd one just for good measure. This one against Oakland. 6 penalties against the Raiders that have been accepted. A couple declined.
Holding, receiving team number 53. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Travian Smith, number 53. Brett Favre getting a little medical attention here. Time has been called.
Gerda?
No.
Did you?
Nope.
The Nook? Pandora?
Nah.
Hunting slugs and snails with me.
Parenting. The next big thing from the McKinneys. LS. The next big thing from Saturn. Room for parents. Room for kids. Same dent-resistant doors.
Not that easy. Not that easy. Encouragement like that.
Don't let it be Daisy.
Come on, Kevin. Watch it. Randy's in the house. What?
So with the shirt.
I want to build my portfolio on solid ground.
Solid business fundamentals can lead to increased earnings for companies, and growing dividends can be the proof.
The Fidelity Dividend Growth Fund sees a company's current or potential dividend growth as a sign of financial strength. See what Fidelity Money Management Excellence can do for you. Get the Fact Kit today. Call 1-800-FIDELITY or visit fidelity.com.
Hi, I'm Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins. The NFL and the United Way are making a difference. The NFL, the United Way, and you. The power of teamwork.
You are watching CBS Sports, the home of the Daytona 500.
Raiders get the football 85 yards away. This is their 8th possession of the ball game, and this their worst field position this afternoon. And the Packers have a lead. John Ritchie in motion. Gannon fakes the toss. Rolls right, being chased out of bounds. Vaughn Booker.
Well, Vaughn Booker, who came to the Packers in a trade from Kansas City, originally wasn't going to be the starter over at the left end position. It was going to be Vonnie Holliday because they moved him over there. But the play of Booker really mandated that he make his way into the starting lineup, and that is just staying with it. And Rich Gannon really had nowhere to go, and you don't want to make a mistake with your back to the goal line.
Loss of 4. Hand off Kaufman. Oh boy, does McKenzie stick him? Oh man, Mike McKenzie from Memphis.
And what's McKenzie? What did he tell us yesterday? Sometimes I come up and I hit a little too hard. I may have to go for a few more shoe tackles. This is not a shoe tackle. Well, that is putting the shoulder into the midsection of the guy with the big skin.
Dan asked him, how do you feel about your run support? He said, I'm okay. 3rd and 10.
That's why he won the starting job.
Blitz coming. Shovel pass, wide open. What a play. And Kaufman, Randy Jordan it is, who gets all the way out to the 45.
That's a beautiful play. What a well-designed play by John Gruden and the offensive staff for 30 yards. And how about Randy Jordan doing a Jim Brown impersonation, hanging right with Steve Wisniewski, his left guard. Here comes Wisniewski. Jordan could have passed him, but he said, no, I need this guy. I need him. And he picks up an extra 10 or 15 yards after riding Wisniewski. Oh, that was a good-looking play by the Raiders.
Pickup of 30, first down at the 45, and Wheatley's back in the lineup. He gets the handoff and comes right. Bounces off the initial contact. George Kurtz is up high, and Bernardo Harris down low. Let's check in with Bonnie Bernstein.
Brett Favre has been down here on the sidelines, pretty much reeling in pain. He's been bent over, evidently on back-to-back plays. On the first play, he bent his thumb all the way back, and then on the second play, he jammed it. So it's kind of a double dose of pain for him. It's scraped up a little bit, and he's bleeding. But Ray Rhodes, the trainers, everybody's come up to him, and he's pretty much shaken off treatment from anybody. Fern?
All right, Bonnie. 2nd down and 10. Randy Jordan is back on the field, and this will be Jordan in motion going wide to the left. Barrett Riley snaps it back. Gannon punts once, and that's a one-hopper over to the left side. Bonnie Holiday might have gotten a hand on it, number 90. Holiday, an exciting young man in his 2nd year with 8 sacks last year.
Things change a little bit for Bonnie Holiday this year with the retirement of, what was that guy?
92. 92.
White, that's it, Reggie White. Reggie drew an awful lot of attention, and Bonnie enjoyed the fruits of that being on the other side of the line. It'll be a little different this year. Bonnie Holiday not sneaking up on anybody.
3rd and 10, Tim Brown breaks off to the left side against Tyrone Williams. 2 wide receivers to the right. 3rd down, 10. Audible from Gannon. Blitz coming. Gannon flips it out incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
And there's a good look at what Emmett Thomas promised that he was going to do defensively, involve the linebackers more in the blitzing game. That time it's Brian Williams who comes in untouched. There's Williams, 51. See Leroy Butler come in. He draws the block, and that frees up Brian Williams to put the pressure on Gannon. The defensive backs crowd. They know the ball's coming out in a hurry. Good scheme by Emmett Thomas.
Aragu's on to punt on 4th and 10, and Desmond Howard waits for it at the 15-yard line. Howard, as we said, had that brilliant year here, then 2 years in Oakland. Rather non-productive seasons. Let go. He was waving. This one is down.
Oh, now wait a minute. If he slid into the end zone, it's a touchback.
Yep.
If any part of you touches that goal line, it's a touchback. It doesn't matter whether the ball crosses the goal line or not. If your feet touch the goal line, that's a touchback. Kenny Shedd,
member of the kicking team, touched the football with his feet on the line in the end zone. Therefore, the play is ruled touchback. First.
Kenny Shedd's number 84. He catches the football. Oh, he just couldn't keep from getting into the end zone. Good effort, but still a touchback.
I will pursue greater growth opportunities to reach my goals.
Historically, being aggressive has made sense. Despite 9 recessions since World War II, the market's up 71-fold because earnings are up 58-fold. Earnings drive the market.
The Fidelity Aggressive Growth Fund seeks companies with accelerated earnings or revenue growth potential. See what Fidelity Money Management Excellence can do for you. Get the Fact Kit today. Call 1-800-FIDELITY or visit fidelity.com.
A while back, when our new larger Saturns came in, one of our customers was out of town. So a couple of our retailers put together a little video for him
German engineering. Nice, huh?
to show off the bigger engine and new suspension.
Feel how smooth?
And while they're not the best filmmakers,
Oh, that's what it
that customer knows a little more about our new larger Saturn LS.
Boy, it's a big trunk. We should get a shot of it.
And a whole lot more about Saturn. This is good stuff.
These days you hear a lot about e-commerce, and usually it's about companies with names that end in .com. Actually, e-commerce is for any company that wants a better way to do business, like respond faster to the market, or work better with partners and customers. At Microsoft, we've helped thousands of companies build on their existing systems to create the kinds of e-commerce solutions that can make any business run smarter.
Becker's had the summer on. Think he's chilled out? You actually patronize a place called Living La Vida Mocha? Don't count on it. The season premiere of Becker, Monday, September 20th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Microsoft. Where do you want to go today? And by Fidelity Investments. We help you invest responsibly.
Packer bench defensive tackle Santana Dotson getting a freshman draft ankle. He'll get a rest now as his Packer offensive teammates on the floor, on the field with a 4-point lead at 14-10. Here's Spar. Hand off to Levens, dances around in the backfield. Flags are thrown. Brett Favre playing with an injured thumb, trying to shake off the injury. Happened on the last series. Here's Tony Corrente holding. Packers.
Holding, offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
That is Ross Burba, who had a sensational rookie season, and by his own admission, fell off the paddle last year.
Yeah, he was their #1 draft choice in '97 out of Iowa, and you know, at least he owned up to the fact that he said, I was here last year, but I really didn't make a whole lot happen. He's still young. He's going to be a quality player.
2 penalties today. Here's Favre. Little safety valve to Henderson. Henderson tackled at the 15-yard line. Now let's go back to the last drive and Brett Favre when he injured his thumb.
Now this is the first in the series where he hits his hand on Russell Maryland, number 67. And that, boy, you can see that really got him going. That's the one Bonnie was talking about. He bent his thumb all the way back. On the follow-through, he makes contact with Maryland. And this is Lance Johnstone then on the next play. And again, he hits the hand again. So back-to-back plays. First Russell Maryland, then Lance Johnstone, number 51. But Brett hanging in there.
Intercepted, picked off by K.D. Williams. K.D. Williams. Favre is claiming holding.
Well, there's no flags on the field, so I think Brett can claim only once.
The third interception of the day on Brett Favre, and this one comes from a rookie free agent.
This is a guy who about 8 months ago was a sky cap at Tampa International Airport. He's just in his hook zone. He's not doing much of anything, and I'm assuming Brett Favre never saw Williams as he just tries to dump it off across the middle. He's kind of screened by Lance Johnstone, who's got the pressure up the middle. Williams, who started this game as a goat by hitting Favre, redeems himself.
Handoff Wheatley, he will stroll in.
That was not much of a contested touchdown by the Green Bay defense. Some corner support for Green Bay is not there. Let's look at the blocking. There's Ricky Dudley at the point of attack. There comes DiNapoli around the corner. Boy, and that is, they just destroy the left side of the Packer defense.
K.D. Williams was earning $350 a month as a skycap at the Tampa airport as late as February last winter. He's the kind of young man whose energy and personality is very captivating. Oakland leads by 3.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win your way college football game.
2 more tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Penn State and Miami face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Are these your final numbers?
These are our final numbers.
What do you think, Jack? It looks pretty good from this end.
I never thought you guys could pull this one off.
Have we ever let you down?
Not yet. Hey, weren't you supposed to go away for your anniversary?
Oh, you know us. All work, no play.
Great job, guys. Great.
Well, back to the grind.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jack.
Nextel's i1000 Plus comes with crystal clear speakerphone, so you can take care of business from anywhere. Nextel, how business gets done.
Let's fly.
Jag, America's #1 action drama, takes you to the most dangerous place on earth, Kosovo.
I'm on 'em.
The season premiere of Jag, CBS Tuesday, September 21st.
Brett Favre, 3 interceptions today.
2 of them leading directly to Raider touchdowns.
Here's the kickoff taken by Howard. Or Basil Mitchell it is. And the rookie free agent from Texas Christian University moves it out to the 21-yard line. Terry Mickens makes the tackle. And Brett Favre back on the field.
Well, again, look at Brett looking at his right hand. He's walking out there with both his hands fully extended, trying to work his way through what is obviously a very painful situation for him, and you don't need me to tell you that your thumb in throwing the football is of more than just minor importance.
Favre is 16 of 26. Levens hands off. Henderson leads the way around the corner, and Dorsey Levens out near the 32-yard line. That might be enough to even move the chain.
And I'll tell you something, this is a point in a football game when your quarterback is a little hurt, where everybody else on the team has to step it up. Everybody else has to get going. An outstanding block at the point of attack by Tyrone Davis. William Henderson came through with a key lead block, and Levens runs for 10 and a first down. The pressure is on everybody else in a Packer uniform to help cover for Brett Favre.
And off the side, they'll go right. Levens hit and drop.
This is where, if you're a member of the Packers, you've got to feel a sense of urgency about what's happening in this football game. You're at your home field, you're losing to the Raiders, and your quarterback is hurt. Now, if that doesn't get your adrenaline flowing, if you're a member of this Packer team, offensively or defensively, then there's something wrong.
Favre brings him up again. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. 3 wide receivers on the field for Green Bay, and they operate out of the shotgun now. Here's the draw play. Levens going right, cuts back to the 37, perhaps the 38-yard line, and Lance Johnstone with Richard Harvey's help there for the tackle.
Now, conversely, for the Oakland Raiders, they're smelling a little blood right here. They've got a lead. We're coming to the end of the 3rd quarter. Nobody gave them much of a chance of being able to come in here to Lambeau and pull this off. This is about the time where they're all thinking to themselves, you know what? We can win this thing.
35. Base defense, 4-man rush. Favre flushed. Being chased. Jackson has him. Brady Jackson got there first. Chuck Osborne got there second. It's 4th down.
Brett Favre never gets set in the pocket. He drops, takes a short drop, tries to find a receiver. After this, it's all over. A 3-step drop. He wanted to unload the ball quickly out to the right side, and John Gruden goes, Y-E-S. I don't want to be Marv.
You've proven yourself not to be a lip reader. It's 4th down. And Chris Hansen is on to punt. He had one blocked last week in the preseason finale against Miami, his first day in a Packer uniform. Does have a great release, but this one is off the side of his foot. It does take a Green Bay bounce, and Darian Gordon will let it limp to a rest at the 32-yard line. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with our score. The Raiders 17, the Packers 14. We'll return to Lambeau after this message and a word from your local station.
Join Shania, Dixie Chicks, Tim McGraw, and Vince for the CMA's live CBS Wednesday, September 22nd. Nothing feels like country. Brett.
I've been the New York Giants public address announcer for 42 years.
Here you are, Mr. Shepard.
Thank you, Mary Johnson. But I've never seen anything like this NFL.com. Team reports, chat sessions, and best of all, oh, excuse me for a moment. Carried by Barbara. First down, Giants. Real-time, play-by-play. Ah, technology.
So, I asked this girl over for dinner, and she says she's going to Damon's. I'm thinking, who the heck is Damon? Then she goes on and on about Damon's irresistible barbecued ribs and chicken, and Damon's prime rib, and Damon's famous onion loaf. Damon's. Then she tells me what a great time she has at Damon's. Well, goody. And how she couldn't pass up an evening like that. I told her that in the future, a simple no would do.
Try our award-winning ribs, the big burger, or a grilled chicken breast salad for lunch at Damon's.
No, it's too red. Too dark. This is gonna be perfect.
You can get all orange and blue to last the season at Lucas Paints in Denver, but bring your Visa card because they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Damon's Clubhouse Restaurants.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Opening game of the 1999 season with Bonnie Bernstein and Dan Deerdorf, Vern Lundquist, and the Oakland Raiders leading the Green Bay Packers by 3, 17-14. First down and 10, Raiders. Napoleon Kaufman gets the handoff, and he is knifed down as he tries to go right. Vaughn Booker, number 96 there. Fridays has fallen, CBS. Critics are saying now and again as the X-Files meets the $6 Million Man. Now and again, the season premiere Friday, September 24th, here on CBS, America's most watched network. Tim Brown was in the backfield. Now he comes into the slot and left. Backs are split behind Gannon on second down. He fires to John Ritchie, and Ritchie gets a little blocking help from Jeremy Brigham as Mike McKenzie is out there to make the defensive play. Gain of 10, however, and a first down.
Yeah, don't judge Ritchie by the way he looks. He looks like a tank, and he is at 6'1", 250, but their third-round draft choice last year started 11 games for the Raiders, but he's got nice hands, and he works well in space. And he certainly makes an attractive target for a guy like Rich Gannon.
29.
Nobody else on the field, Vern, looks quite like John Ritchie.
No, that's true. Either with or without the helmet. First down and 10. Kaufman. Nothing there. Comes left. And Gannon tries to help a little bit with a block. And then James Jett gives him some help, and it's a gain of 9 as Kaufman improvises.
Well, this is what Napoleon Kaufman brings to the table. Wonderful open field running. Ritchie, not much there on his lead block. Kuntz does a good job stuffing it at the line, and then this is just all Napoleon Kaufman and his innate skills.
Napoleon Kaufman out the last month of the season last year with a groin pull. Said he's had his best preseason camp. It's 2nd and 1. Ritchie pile drives for the first down at the 45-yard line. Now let's go back to New York and check in with Jim Nance.
All right, Vern and Dan, as you know, Testaverde out for the year. Tom Tupa trying to lead the Jets back. Tough pass, but they got it to Keyshawn Johnson. 65 yards he goes. It sets up a Tupa touchdown toss to Fred Baxter, and the Jets are 5 down, 2.5 to go, third quarter. Back to you.
All right, Jim, here we've got an Oakland lead by 3, and they have a first down 10 at the Green Bay 45. Tyrone Whitley has played a substantial amount today, and he's on the field right now. Play fake. Gannon out of a tackle. Improvises and fires it, and it is dropped by Ritchie.
When John Gruden, he didn't make a decision to do away with Jeff George. It was a decision based on his ability to get Rich Gannon. Jeff George would still be the quarterback of the Raiders if it wasn't for the fact that Gannon was available. And this is what he wanted from him. An awareness of the pocket, an ability to move and just make something happen. That should have been a completed pass, but Rich Gannon always has trademarked his ability to move around the pocket, to be nimble.
2nd down and 10. Gannon with his backs in the eye. Mickens in motion. Here's the toss to Kaufman. Ritchie tries to help with the block, and Kaufman spilled at the 44-yard line by Darren Sharper. And that brings up a big 3rd down here early 4th quarter.
And what a nice play that was by Darren Sharper. The free safety came up on the run support, wiped out Ritchie, the lead blocker, and took Napoleon Kaufman with him. This is not supposed to happen. Ritchie, number 40, out front. He's going to take on Sharper, or vice versa, I might say. Sharper takes out Ritchie and Napoleon Kaufman at the same time. Now that is run support.
3rd and 9. Oakland 4 of 9 on 3rd downs. Randy Jordan and Ritchie are the running backs. See what Green Bay has in mind defensively. There's the audible from Gannon.
Not going to get out. Yeah. It's the 2nd time this game Rich has had to come up out of center.
Oakland, this is their first charge.
Raiders lead by 3. 11:27 to go in the ball game. The Raiders up by 3 with a 3rd and 9 officially at the Green Bay 44. They will send James Jett wide right, Tim Brown in the slot to the left, and Terry Mickens out wide against Tyrone Williams.
And how aggressive will Emmett Thomas be?
Very. Here they come. Max blitz. Gannon goes deep right side. He's got a receiver, Jett. And Jett is out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Another job by the Oakland Raiders of handling the blitz of the Green Bay Packers. You know, as a corner, you are locked up one-on-one. Fred Vinson, the rookie, the 2nd-round draft choice, trying to run with James Jett. There's no comparison in the speed between the two. And James Jett wins it, and because of the fine throw by Rich Gannon. Look at Rich Gannon drop that ball right into James Jett. And hustle by Vincent saves a touchdown. But again, the blitz of the Packers handled and beaten by the Raiders.
1st and goal, Oakland. Left side, Jordan. Touchdown, Oakland.
Randy Jordan in the end zone again. Everybody loves the blitz when it gets there and drops a quarterback or plants him while he's trying to throw. Nobody likes the blitz when it doesn't succeed. Not a lot of surge by the Raiders, but Randy Jordan with great leg drive, and the Raiders went into camp saying we've got to find a back who can handle short yardage for us. It appears that Randy Jordan is filling that bill.
Michael Husted's extra point is good. The Oakland Raiders on the road on 3rd and 9 to send James Jett deep. He grabs it off Rich Gannon's arm for a 43-yard gain.
brother's son said he had an idea that'd make us rich.
That funny-looking kid said that.
Said we can use the internet.
The internet. We ain't selling books, we're selling feed, and we already sell every ranch in the county.
Harlan, you ever been outside the county? Well?
Give me a minute, I'm thinking.
Welcome to Football Fantasy. Let's meet today's contestant, Chip. It's time to meet your players.
Hey, Chip. Hey, Chippy. Hey there, Chip, buddy.
Okay, Chip, you've got the ball.
Player number 1, what's your idea of fun on a Sunday afternoon?
Wow, that's tough.
I'm going to tote the rock for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. Number 2, I'm going to throw for 406 touchdowns. Just for you, Chip.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, number 3. I'm going to order pizza with extra cheese for me and my pal Chip. Yeah. Funny. Player number 2, here we go.
Oh, time's up.
I can't decide.
You don't have to. You get NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV. You get to choose the games and players you want to watch all regular season long.
DirecTV, what are you looking at? Now get 3 months of programming free when you get DirecTV.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM. Are you ready for e-business? And by DirecTV. What are you looking at?
Number 82 has world-class speed. He showed it then in a battle with Fred Brinson, the rookie, flying down the sideline and grabbing the 43-yarder from Rich Gannon. And the Raiders come into Lambeau Field on the opening day of 1999, and they lead by 10. But there are still 10 minutes and 52 seconds remaining. Desmond Howard popped, dropped at the 23. Travian Smith, number 53. Jarred Desmond Howard's body.
Howard breaks to the right. That is called putting the shoulder into the runner. Whoa!
Your phone, your water pressure, the airbags in your car, the toys your children play with. The world around you runs on chips. Agilent makes the testing equipment that makes sure those chips work. Just try to get through a day without being touched by the things we test. You might as well try to dodge raindrops.
What you don't get with cut-rate car insurance is a State Farm agent to turn to when you need help.
I'm lonely.
So if you get into an accident,
I'm Mr. Lonely.
you could end up feeling
Wish I had someone
very much alone.
to call on.
Don't want to feel all alone? Go with the good neighbor service you get with a State Farm agent.
He's the man
I'm a detective.
with the scam.
You're Judy. Zip, zip.
On September 17th,
This is what the world needs. Moving the buses to finish. I should get used to this. I'm a cop.
feel the heat. Damn. Ride the street.
Mind if I drive? I know a shortcut.
Blue Street.
There's no use. He ain't talking.
That's because you had your hand over his mouth.
Rated PG-13.
Opens everywhere Friday. This fall, the creator of Ally McBeal and The Practice is checking into Chicago Hope.
Anybody want to save a life?
Clear.
New attitude.
He didn't have a hernia. Somebody bit off his...
What?
New faces.
This place just gets better and better.
It's a whole new Hope.
Let's do it.
All new Chicago Hope. Season premiere CBS Thursday, September 23rd.
10:45 to go in the ball game. The Raiders up by 10. Green Bay now with the first down at its own 24-yard line. 3 wide receivers set. Bradford joins Schrader and Freeman. And Brett Favre, chased by Darrell Russell, gets it into the hands of Dorsey Levens. But that was pressure from Lance Johnstone. Back to the big third down play.
Yeah, let's go back and look at that long pass to James Jett. First of all, here's the matchup right here. Fred Vincent and James Jett. You got to get a hit on the receiver. Secondly, here's Darren Sharper. He starts a safety blitz from about 15 yards away. There's no way Sharper's going to get there, and without a bump on Jet, Fred Vincent is in big trouble. You have got to reroute a guy when you're going to, they call it bump and run for a reason. The run without the bump means big trouble.
Here's Favre with a play fake and gets it into the hands of Levens, who's down at the 30. That'll bring up a third down. We go back to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, Vern, check this one out. Bears up 10, looking to close out Kansas City, but Shane Matthews fumbles, and Donnie Edwards races 80 yards the other way. Dick Duran and the Bears challenged it, and the replay confirmed it was a fumble, so they give up a touchdown and a timeout, and the game's now a 3-point game. Back to Green Bay.
Oh, boy, Dick Duran's debut as the head coach in Chicago. 3rd and 4 here. Here's Levens. Favre. Nobody open, fires it out, caught by Henderson, first down. As he is knocked out of bounds with the first down at the 37-yard line. Green Bay Packers will have a fresh series of downs. Dan, I want you to pay attention to this because I know you've been otherwise occupied for the last decade or so. Monday on CBS. It's a night to remember. Watch 4 great episodes and relive this special. Moments from TV's best comedy. It's 2 full hours, and everybody loves Raymond. You know that?
I am available to watch.
48 hours, Monday on CBS. America's most watched network, and I am so glad you are. 24-14.
You're a bad boy, Jim.
I know. Here's Favre. He's got it in Oakland. Tyrone Davis, the tight end. Anthony Newman was there to make the tackle, and I think it might have been Newman's responsibility. Tyrone Davis.
Well, it's one of the things that for a big man, Tyrone Davis does really well, and that is run. He gets the release from the line of scrimmage and challenges the middle of the field. And you can see that Beaker can't run with him, and Anthony Newman, the strong safety, late coming over into the middle. Boy, it's pretty to watch a tight end on a seam pass down the middle of the field. Reminds me of John Mackey and Jackie Smith.
Here's Levens, not much there. Aggressive defensive work led by K.D. Williams, number 59. Well, Mark Chimura came on and started the ball game and had 4 catches in the early going. And Tyrone Davis, who started every game in preseason, on now as we are nearing the 8.5-minute mark.
You know, Vern, there are a lot of teams in the league that don't have a decent tight end. And somehow the Packers have 3 with Chimura, Davis, and Jeff Thomason as well.
8:22 to go in regulation. Packers. Here's Favre, no flags. Favre being chased, pulls up, drills in. Caught. No catch. No catch. Davis, the intended receiver.
The officials saying that it one-hop to Tyrone Davis, and you can bet right now Ray Rhodes is getting some advice from the booth on whether or not he ought to challenge this. They'll base it on this look right here. Oh, that looked like a catch at first glance, didn't it? I kept waiting to see if that was going to hit the ground or not. It looked like Tyrone Davis got his hands underneath the football.
And we might have a challenge. No?
Well,
Tony Coretta even looked over at Ray Rhodes as if to ask, do you want to challenge?
There is going to be a challenge here. There is going to be a challenge.
Yep.
Remember, the referee, when he comes over to the sideline to look at the monitor, must see indisputable visual evidence to overturn it. Well, now he's backing up.
Green Bay has challenged the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
All right. Tony Correnti now is going to head to the sidelines. In the booth next to us, there are 4 men from the NFL running the digital equipment. Let's look at this. Well, from my angle, if I'm the referee, I give him that catch. I did not see any contact between the football and the ground. Did you, Vern?
Now, I think, no, I did not. But I think what the issue now becomes is indisputable visual evidence.
If you're a Green Bay fan, you just saw indisputable evidence. If you're a Raider fan, it clearly bounced off the ground.
Becomes inscrutably indisputable.
If I'm just my humble opinion, look at this. Now look at the hands of Tyrone Davis. It appears that his left hand at first and then his right hand second kept that football from touching the ground. In my mind, that looked like a legitimate catch.
90 seconds allowed from the time Tony Correnti, the referee, stuck his hand under the hood.
This is a tough call for Correnti. This is a tough call for him now. This is not an open and shut case.
Nope. 17-yard gain if it is reversed. A loss of down if the challenge is denied.
The coach's challenge will be accepted. The play will go as a completed pass. Ball will be placed at the 14.5-yard line.
It took 51 seconds for Correnti to make the reversal.
All right, Correnti did a good job second in looking at that. The first unbelievable job was by Tyrone Davis, making that a legitimate catch. Brett Favre stayed alive. He delivered a football that only 1 in 10 times.
The play was ruled as a completed catch. The receiver had his hands underneath the ball upon reception.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Tony.
So we have seen the instant replay system work as designed.
We have seen the best of it.
Yep.
Right there.
Took 51 seconds. First down and 10. Here's Favre. Across the middle. Caught. Mickens makes the grab. Or Bradford, rather. Well, instant replay. 2 challenges per team. Ray Rhodes just used one of his. That's until the 2-minute warning. And the referee review in the last 2 minutes of the half and overtime. All plays are reviewed by a replay official, who in this case is Darrell Lewis, who is sitting up here on our level in the press box. Ray Rhodes challenged a kickoff return for a touchdown in the last preseason game, and it was upheld. The challenge. Here's Favre in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Corey Bradford.
A little redemption of sorts for Corey Bradford. The ball bounced off his hands into the hands of Darian Gordon, and that is how the Raiders ended up with a touchdown after that misplay by Bradford. Well, he attempts to atone for that by making this touchdown catch in traffic.
Bradford only 3 catches in regular season last year, but had a huge touchdown grab from Favre in the wild card loss in San Francisco. Bradford brings the Packers back within 3. We've got a ball game with 7:20 to go.
Let me help you out. Let me see.
I'm going to turn it on in a second.
You all right?
Oh, yeah.
Hold up. That's how we're going to do it. Come on.
You're in my house now, okay? How much they paying you? Because I don't see it.
Might help you. This really might help you.
I'd take them off if I could find the laces.
Oops. Hope you miss it. Oh.
In 1984, 2 computer scientists envisioned the impossible, a seamless network of computer networks. They invented the router. Cisco Systems was born. Today, virtually all internet traffic travels across Cisco equipment, now directing millions of messages a day. And Cisco will be there as web users soar to over 300 million by the year 2002. Where do you learn about companies so integrated into the future? Exactly. NASDAQ Amex, the market of markets.
You've really been wanting a satellite dish, haven't you? You want all the sports. You want all the movies. But you're concerned. Hey, Radio Shack explains everything. And Radio Shack can even install your system for you when you buy now. Plus, when you get an RCA DirecTV system for only $149.99 and subscribe to 99 NFL Sunday Ticket and DirecTV Total Choice Platinum, get 3 months of free programming, all with no long-term commitment. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Monday, it's a night to remember. 4 great episodes of special moments from TV's best comedy.
Who better to help us than your parents?
The devil. 4 Raymonds, 1 night. CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. And by Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
3-point game. And that last drive, 76 yards, 8 plays. The biggest play, perhaps, the challenge upheld Ray Rhodes as Tyrone Davis makes a grab of a 17-yard pass, initially ruled incomplete, and then Rules complete to give Green Bay a first down.
How about that drive by the Packers, down 24-14.
Longwell will kick it deep.
Remember, it got started, Vern, with a third down conversion, a little dump off to William Henderson to keep that drive moving.
Longwell at the goal line. Kaufman out to the 29-yard line. And let's check in with Bonnie Bernstein.
Right, Vern. There was a lot of talk in the preseason, though, with Antonio Freeman being the primary receiver for the Packers. A lot of the other receivers were going to have to step up. They had the clear way to catch the ball. Bill Schrader scoring the first time for the Packers this year. Corey Bradford with a clutch touchdown right here. And also Tyrone Davis, the tight end. Ray Rhodes is obviously getting what he's looking for. Vern?
All right, Bonnie. Now, Corey Bradford, they shipped Derek Mays off to Seattle, making Bradford the number 3 receiver and Schrader the starter.
And here comes the Lambeau crowd into play.
Wheatley on the field with John Ritchie as he's blocking back. And it's Tyrone Wheatley who gets the handoff. Out to the 32-yard line. Bernardo Harris makes the tackle. And we reach the 7-minute mark. Coming up tonight on CBS, the lineup we lead off with 60 Minutes and the CBS Sunday movie Goodfellas. That's tonight's lineup on 60 Minutes and Goodfellas on CBS. Second down and 7.
And a little tennis is next.
Yes. Gannon fires it out. Caught by Jeremy Brigham, the tight end, and Bernardo Harris with a quick tackle. Third down.
Bernardo Harris that time all over Brigham, the backup tight end to Ricky Dudley. You'll give him that couple of yard pickup there. You just have to make the sure tackle. You can't allow him to drag you for a couple of yards when you're that close to giving up a first down.
Third and 3 with 6:05 remaining.
And check the decibel meter on this.
Play fake, Gannon fires it right side. Ritchie, first down, Oakland. And that takes the air out of the crowd.
Well, and it was a very conservative pass rush by the Packers. Remember, they've been burned a couple times already on the blitz. They're just coming with a couple guys inside. They really don't get anything at all on Gannon. That's almost conceding a first down. But then again, Emmett Thomas has sent his guys in mass after the quarterback. They've not gotten there. The last one being the long completion to James Jett. There's Emmett Thomas right there. He's got to think long about an all-out blitz.
On first down, the handoff to Kaufman, going right. Gets a block on the right side and picks up about 4. Mike McKenzie, the rookie, makes the tackle. Week 2, the NFL on CBS next Sunday. A doubleheader for you. Many of you see the Oakland and Minnesota game. And then in the second game of the doubleheader, Denver at Kansas City, and it all begins with the NFL today with from left to right, respectively, Randy Cross, Jim Nance, Craig James, and the short guy,
Jerry Glanville.
Second and 6.
The coach.
5 to go. Gannon, right side. Goes for Tim Green into double coverage. And Tim Green thinks he might have been, Tim Brown, I beg your pardon.
A lot of times, Vern, that kind of a hit on a receiver when the ball's not catchable will draw the flag. Tim Brown is going to be right in the opening here. He's behind McKenzie, but it's this hit here by Darren Sharper that a lot of times they say you can't hit a defenseless receiver like that, and you see Tim Brown pleading his case. I've seen a lot of hits like that before that have brought a flag.
36, Brown, left side. Now let's see if they come. They do not. Gannon scrambling, fires it, incomplete. Flag taken. Mike McKenzie and Terry Mickens mixed up over there, and a flag came very late.
Oh, and this is against Green Bay.
Yes.
Packers had dodged the bullet.
Pass interference. Defense number 34. Automatic. First down.
Mike McKenzie, their third-round draft choice, the starter at left corner. Mickens comes in. You're allowed to hit inside 5 yards. You can have the left hand on the back of the receiver. That's allowed as long as you're not shoving him or altering his path in some way.
Here's Wheatley. Works on the clock. And by the way, pass interference is not among the elements in this game, which is challengeable.
No, it's not. That's
replay.
a judgment call, and that is not reviewable.
Men's final coming up at the U.S. Open as soon as our ball game is complete. Andre Agassi and Todd Martin, first U.S. American final since 1996. Brad Gilbert, Agassi's coach, wearing an Oakland Raiders cap yesterday. What might he do if the Raiders win this one?
Maybe he had some sense of how well they were going to play today.
Here's second down and Wheatley going right. They work on the clock a little more, under 4 minutes now. And McKenzie makes the tackle.
Charge timeout. Green Bay. This is their first charge team timeout.
Leaves them with 2.
32nd timeout.
I like to think of myself as an innovator who started a company, Dell Computer, around an idea that everybody should be doing business directly with one another, one-to-one, with no barriers. To me, that's the power of the internet. We'd like to show you how to empower your business in ways you've never imagined. I'm Michael Dell, and it's our reason for being.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
24-21 Oakland at Minnesota next week. They do have the toughest schedule in the NFL in 1999, and they come into Lambeau Field where the Packers have lost just 1 game since 1995. You remember that one last year.
Oh, absolutely. That was a Monday nighter with Minnesota when they were just routed by Randy Moss. All right, Vern, do you blitz? You're Emmett Thomas. Here you got a third and long situation. The last time you were in this predicament, you got scorched. This is where, as a defensive coordinator, you earn your money.
Brown is wide right. Nick Jett is wide left. 3rd and 8, they do not blitz. Gannon steps up. Little safety valve to Kaufman. Out of a tackle, that will be short of a first down. Bernardo Harris and Bill Lyon.
Well, the Packers choose to have everything happen in front of their secondary and linebackers, a 4-man rush. They still make Rich move around in the pocket, but you must make the tackle. The first tackle is missed, and then Bernardo Harris comes up and makes the hit. And the Raiders send in the punting group with Aragus.
Leo Aragus, 3rd punt today, and Desmond Howard waits it at the 10.
This will be some kind of a pooch, some type of a high short kick, or
might he go for the corner? Or...
Well, that practice kick was certainly towards the left corner, wasn't it? Maybe he was faking enough. Maybe they'll run a fake punt.
My instincts say no. And a flag is thrown, delay of game on Oakland, so that gives the Raiders...
Delay of game, offense. The penalty is declined. Remains 4th down.
Never understood why teams take that delay, because the defense never accepts it.
Right.
It's not like it's some type of an automatic penalty. Again, Brett Favre battling that injury to his right thumb that happened in the 3rd quarter.
Aragus. Nice and high. Howard drifts over, will let it bounce, and it does into the end zone and comes out to the 20. So the Packers have the football with 2:53 remaining, trailing by 3.
If you haven't been watching CBS Primetime, look what you've been missing.
That Favre hurt his thumb in the 2nd quarter, didn't he? Did I say 3rd quarter?
We've come a long way, baby.
2:53 to go, 2 timeouts left for Green Bay. Brett Favre with the injured thumb, and that occurred in the third quarter. First down and 10. Here's Favre to throw. Flushed right, chased, steps up, lets it go. Almost picked off.
Oh, baby.
Marquise Walker, number 38, had both hands on it.
Well, that was very, very close to being and should have been an interception. Unless one of the Packers knocked it away from Marquise Walker, this thing was right in the palm of his hands. Brett should have just gone out of bounds and not tried to jam that in. See Walker, number 38, working right there against Freeman.
Favre has been intercepted 3 times today. Forming on rush. Favre, good defensive coverage. Johnstone, and that is a incomplete.
That's an incomplete. Brett was throwing the ball.
Yep.
And that's just a case of Brett just waiting in the pocket so long. He can't find anybody open at all. Lance Johnstone keeps hustling, keeps working in from the backside. And that couldn't have felt good to a guy who's already got a banged up right hand.
3rd and 10. 2:37 to go. Raiders have 3 up. They'll send 3 and drop 8. And that one is tipped to the air and incomplete.
And Brett Favre saved an interception. That was going to be intercepted by one of the Raiders, and Favre goes in there and makes the hit. Now here's a guy that's hurt. Lance Johnstone is number 51. It's hit by the guy in the middle, Chuck Osborne, number 98. Johnstone is going to make that interception, but Brett Favre comes in and hits him right in the legs when he's attempting to make the interception.
And the rookie Chris Hansen from Marshall University is on to punt for the 4th time. This one straight down the middle of the field. It will take a Green Bay roll, but Darian Gordon backs away from it. A flag thrown back at the 21-yard line.
No one seems to be aware that there's a flag back at the 21. Well, an eligible receiver downfield for Green Bay. That will, I would assume, be declined. The Raiders will just take the football unless they want to try to make him kick again.
No, I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either. The only thing there might be that you got a rookie punter and maybe you, but you're not going to come after him.
An eligible member of the kicking team downfield prior to the kick, number 34. The penalty is declined. First down.
See, you don't want to make them kick again for fear that you rough the punter or something like that and give Green Bay a first down. Since '95, in a huge upset when the Packers lost to the St. Louis Rams.
And Sean Gilbert had a field day in that one.
He had a monster day. A couple sacks, a couple of forced fumbles.
Tyrone Wheatley will help the Raiders work on the clock. What an enormous win this would be for the Oakland Raiders.
And you know what, Vernon, that last series by the Raiders defensively, a good illustration of why for much of
Green Bay, this is their second charge team timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
A good illustration of why for much of the year last year, Willie Shaw's defensive unit was the #1 ranked defense in the National Football League. They were in that position when Eric Allen got hurt. And you know, they tumbled all the way to number 5 in the league. But that was not allowing a first down when it really counted.
John Gruden and Rich Gannon on the sideline. 2:12 to go. This Oakland team goes into Minnesota next week. And they do have a very difficult schedule. They open at home against Chicago on the 26th, then on the road at Seattle, Denver, at Buffalo, then the Jets in Miami before they get the bye. And then the second half of the schedule, San Diego at Denver on a Monday nighter, Kansas City, Seattle, Tennessee.
Well, Tim Brown said if we have to play Green Bay and Minnesota, at least we're playing them early.
Tyrone Wheatley. Santana Dotson makes the stop.
Charge timeout.
No.
Green Bay.
Green Bay takes another timeout.
Charge team timeout.
That's the last timeout.
Hey, Owens, you owe me money.
Snickers, play for peanuts. Unwrap a Snickers. If you find a football player, you win cash or a Snickers.
Hey, this guy owes me $10.
Where's my $5, Randy?
Emmett Smith, $100. Cough it up. I want my $10.
Get out of here.
Each player's wrapper is worth instant cash or a free Snickers.
I don't have your $5.
Snickers, play for peanuts. Eat Snickers, win money.
2:06 before a sellout crowd. 2:06 remaining in the season opener in 1999. And the Oakland Raiders cling to a 3-point lead with a 3rd down and 7. John Gruden celebrated his 36th birthday.
The story here, no timeouts for the Packers. They'll get a stop each year. If Oakland doesn't get a first down by the 2-minute warning, a first down here by the Raiders, well, huge damage for Green Bay.
Randy Jordan is the sole setback. Play fake. They fire it. Oh, man. It was intended for Brigham, but almost intercepted.
Well, they took a chance. They tried. A gutsy call going to the air. And actually, Gannon delivers the football, but a little too far to the outside. Brigham really doesn't have any kind of a chance to catch it.
And Darren Sharper went low to try and make the pick and did not do so. Now Desmond Howard awaits the punt of Leo Aragoose.
So the Packers will get another offensive possession. No timeouts, but they'll get the football.
Aragoose and Howard. Howard at the 21 comes right out of bounds. And the flag is going to be dropped. This one could go against Green Bay.
Basil Mitchell was one of the guys who came in there throwing a block at the very end. Had to be the last thing they said in the punt return huddle. No penalties. Illegal use of the hands.
Illegal block in the back, above the waist. Receiving team, number 28. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That was indeed Basil Mitchell, the rookie from TCU.
Oakland has a 3-point lead at 24-21. And we're 9 seconds shy of the 2-minute warning.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Raiders lead by 3.
In the future,
people will live to be 200, but look 30.
we'll make cars that drive
There will
themselves.
be one pill that cures
There'll be
everything.
homes under the sea.
Factories that don't pollute.
Toys that play back. Vacations on Mars.
In the future,
there'll be a virtual assistant to do all my chores. There'll be clothes that
I'll
make us
have
stronger.
my own business.
In the future, Introducing Blue from American Express, a whole new kind of credit card.
Step up. Learn to see farther. Learn there are teachers who won't allow you to fail. Learn to dance, to draw. Learn that the real challenge doesn't come from the outside, but from within. And that there's more to you than you ever knew. Be all you can be.
Don't get me started on stockbrokers. I had one for the better part of 10 years. Let me tell you something. The only one who was a broker was me. With Ameritrade, it's so simple. I sit down at my computer, a couple of clicks, and I can see for myself. $8 a trade. My stockbroker said you're going to hate online trading. You can add that to the long list of things he was wrong about.
Call toll-free 888-537-8320 or visit Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
From director Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Ray Liotta, nominated for 6 Academy Awards. Goodfellas, CBS tonight.
Packers out of timeouts, trailing by 3 with 1:51 to go, and the football at the 18-yard line.
You'd think they'd have to get down somewhere around the Oakland 30. Longwell's longest field goal ever is a 50-yarder. So that would be about the 32-yard line.
Here's Favre trying to get his 14th, come from behind. Winning a big game. Dorsey Levens gets the flip out to the 20. Woodson with a tackle, a gain of 22.
Well, that's the way you like to get it started.
90 seconds to go. And they'll flip it out to Freeman this time. Tackle is made at the 46 by Eric Turner, number 29.
The Raiders in the classic prevent look, only a three-man defensive line. Greg Biekert stays on the field in the middle. You know his job is to shadow the lone back.
They'll run it this time at Levens. He's got a big opening. Whoa. Oh, they're getting closer.
And that time Biekert went on a blitz to the opposite side, and Levens, nobody there to shadow him, has a clean run into the secondary.
Gain of 12. We welcome you to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Those of you watching other games, we have 55 seconds remaining. The Green Bay Packers have moved from their own 18 to the Oakland 42. Second down and 10. The Packers without timeouts, trailing by 3. Here's Brett Favre back to play. The pass complete to Bill Schrader at the 32. That's a gain of 11. This drive opened with a little dump-off pass to Dorsey Levens. They picked up 22. Favre will stop the clock with 38 seconds to go.
And again, a reminder, Ryan Longwell, the field goal kicker for the Packers. His career best is a 50-yarder. He's only in his third year. He has made one from 50 yards. That is where they are right now with the football. They are just about where it would be a 50-yard field goal if the Packers weren't able to advance the football any farther down the field. And again, with no timeouts, it takes a good 10 to 15 seconds to get your field goal unit on the field.
Favre pops, comes right behind Dorsey Levens. Brett Favre injured the thumb on his throwing hand when hit back in the third quarter. And he has suffered 3 interceptions today.
There was a period of time where we weren't sure whether Favre was going to be able to continue. He struck his right hand, and we'll take a look at it right here. Russell Maryland, number 67. Brett made contact with Maryland's either shoulder pad or helmet, and he was in pain for quite a long time.
3rd and 10, Favre back. Looks right, drills it, caught. Schrader at the 19. The clock showing 25 seconds, and Favre says we'll spike it.
Right, they've got plenty of time. They got the first down. Brett Favre's still in pain. I think he's still uncomfortable with the right hand. And there's still plenty of time for the Packers to take a shot or two at the end zone. It's apparent that Brett Favre is still playing in a great deal of pain.
Packers without a timeout and 20 seconds to go. Schrader goes wide to the left side. Freeman in the slot, and Corey Bradford is wide right. Here's Bradford in the corner. Caught! Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
He's like at the 1-foot line. Well, every quarterback in this league should throw the ball that well while he's hurt. A little stutter step to the inside, right by Charles Woodson, but Woodson knows he's got some help. Eric Turner.
Timeout. Oakland. This is their second charge team timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
Eric Turner comes over and makes that hit and saves the touchdown. Well, Brett Favre has been turning in gutty performances ever since he came to this league. Well, now, crucial situation. If you run the football, you try to stuff it in the end zone, and you don't make it,
Can you get reset to the line in time to spike the football, to stop the clock, to get your field goal unit on the field? You know the Raiders aren't going to help you.
Well, this is reunion day for the Green Bay Packers, and Bart Starr is here. And if you have any sense of history with no timeouts and 15 seconds remaining, you might try a quarterback sneak.
If you either sneak it or you slam the back in there, but everybody's got to fly up.
Backs are split. Favre will throw. Lobs it. Caught. Touchdown, Jeff Thomason.
With no timeouts, Brett Favre takes the Packers down the field and into the lead.
Ryan Longwell thought he might be called upon to attempt a field goal. This one's a little easier. It's an extra point.
A brilliant call by Sherm Lewis. Don't take a chance on running the football. Put it in the hands of your three-time MVP. Either find somebody wide open or throw it away. That was not option B.
Brett Favre's mom and dad, his brother and sister are all here from Mississippi because yesterday morning at 11 o'clock, Brett and his wife Diana christened their second daughter Breely. This will make a wonderful weekend all the happier.
That's not normally the look of a quarterback who's had a 3-interception day.
It is the look of a quarterback who's thrown 4 touchdowns. Talk about the bitter and the sweet.
Wow. And most of the bitterness right now is on the far side of the field with John Gruden and the Raiders. John Gruden, who treasured his years in Green Bay, here is the wide receivers coach. I'm sure can hardly believe that his defense, that was #1 in the league a lot of last season, gave up that touchdown scoring drive to the Packers without the Packers having any timeouts. And now the training staff of the Packers is going to really try to find out how badly Brett Favre is hurt.
"11 seconds to go. Jeff Thomason from a yard out. Script kick. Taken by Adam True, number 62. And John Gruden, heartsick.
And the significance of Longwell's extra point is that the lead is 4. You got to get to the end zone.
With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 8 seconds. With the game clock operator, please place 8 seconds on the game clock. Thank you.
Raiders had a 24-14 lead 7 minutes ago. And Green Bay has come back, most significantly on the 82-yard drive.
And a replay that was upheld.
Yes. Gannon strip drop. Keith McKenzie with 4 seconds to go. The Raiders burn their final timeout.
Charge timeout. Oakland. This is our 3rd and final charge team timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
The nephew of my old teammate at Michigan, Reggie McKenzie. Keith, who really is an extraordinary pass rusher with the Packers, 8 sacks last year. And, well, it is hard. I have been there. It's just hard to describe how devastated the Raiders are right now to let that 10-point lead get away. But once again, hey, Brett Favre with Brett Favre.
Second down. Here's Gannon on what should be the final play of the ball game. Across the middle, incomplete. The Green Bay Packers, led by Brett Favre, go 82 yards in 9 plays with no timeouts. And they get the winning touchdown, a 1-yard toss. Brett Favre to Jeff Thomason. And a tough return back for John Gruden and the Oakland Raiders. With Bart Starr, Jerry Kramer, and tons of other Packer greats looking on, it's Favre to Thomason for the season-opening victory and Ray Rhodes' first win as the 12th head coach of the Green Bay Packers.
There really was a point, Vern, in the third quarter where we were all openly speculating as to whether Brett Favre was going to be able to continue playing. He was trying and trying to shake off that injury to his right hand. It wasn't working, in obvious discomfort, and yet continued to just fire away, fire away, fire away.
Final score, the Green Bay Packers win it by a count of 28-24. The NFL Today postgame show coming next. Jim Nantz, Craig James, Randy Cross, and Jerry Glanville. Our final, the Packers win it by 4. A come-from-behind victory, a thriller. Let's
get to the close now. We know the Packers have won. What a comeback there. But the Patriots are trying to do the same thing on the Jets. Closing seconds at the Meadowlands. Let's join Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms.